The camera's probably that. Yes, let's see. It's all loading up. Find Twitch on here. Yeah, so from this far, I don't know if they can even hear me.
I'm trying to think if I have a mic. I don't think I do.
Okay, the music's coming through, which is good. Oh. It heard me sniffle really well. Oh. Sounds like it hears pretty good. Yeah. Sounds like it's pretty good. Hey, what's up, nerdy? See how I got the chat. This is my buddy Ray. There's usually 4 of us crocheting, but everyone's busy as heck today. But how are you doing? We're going to be working on crocheting, which, yeah, here's the actual. Maybe you can throw that in the camera. There's a good spot for it, like right here. This is a VW like slug bug she made with no patterns for her kid. It's a little stuffed animal slug bug. It's really cool. And I think she's working on a turtle right now with no pattern. And I'm making one with a pattern because I'm not as good as her. Which I gotta see. Happy crochet hours. Hey there, Ray. I'm good, just working. Yeah, nice. It's awesome. Are you on lunch? No, it's past your lunch, huh? Can you hear me pretty well? We're just literally using the laptop camera and microphone, so I don't know how well it actually works and stuff. Let me move this up a little bit. So it's our first try with it, and I don't have anything like the microphone or an extra webcam or something too, so we don't know how well it's doing. You can hear me good? Or you're on lunch. Done with lunch, and yep, can hear you pretty good. Nice. That's good to know, because we're the laptop's across the table, so it's not normal for me not to have a microphone in my face. But you are working. That's good. Do you have tomorrow off? By the way, I don't know how many places have it off, but all of my kids and everyone that I know has it off. Or is Roger off tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, see. I zonked out super duper hard last night. Hey, me too. I was planning on streaming last night, but yeah, I couldn't make it. This has been a long week, busy week, and then getting over the cold, and then also the hour change have been killing me. You don't have it off? Oh, that sucks. You got home from your dad's and then zonked out. Let's see, what am I on? Oh, crap. I did row 6. So 4 on the increase, okay. Wait, didn't I just do that? No, 3 on increase. I'll have to count. But yeah, so it's weird doing it this way. We're just trying to, I probably won't be that long because we wanted to start earlier, but we had one of our other friends here that would probably be on stream another time, but it's kind of unloading about work and stuff. We didn't want to broadcast all of that live, so we kind of waited. Went over to my pops for dinner, then we watched Peaky Oh, of course, Peaky Blinders. Oh, yeah. Nerdy, she loves, what's his name? What's the actor for Peaky Blinders?
Blue Eyes, I forget his name.
Yeah, she knows. What's the name? You keep, because she's been into like the Oppenheimer.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is him too.
Yeah.
And it's funny because she's like super into. She's making her own story. She's the one that has like the Disney character animals. She's making like a bunny version of Oppenheimer.
Like the Aminiguri or whatever.
No,
or
she draws, and it looks
sweet.
it looks like Disney drawings. Like it's legit as heck.
Wow.
But she's making the whole world with Oppenheimer's kind of like the model
Yeah.
of her bunny thing, but it's like a Secret of Nim kind of story.
Oh, that's cool.
But anyway, so she's been into that. We were talking about it, and then I was just doing a random portrait the other week. And he's actually, it's right, Peaky Blinders from that show. Mm-hmm. I didn't know he was Oppenheimer, but he was one of my portraits I have saved to like draw. So I just pulled him, started drawing, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, it's him!" I was like, "What?"
He was in that one. He was
Cillian Murphy.
There you go.
Cillian Murphy, yeah.
And he was in that one show. There's a movie where he was like.
Appreciate the time.
He was like an Irish dude that was in a airplane fight, and he landed and they brought him right back out into the war. I watched it and I was like, I can't watch this guy because he's such a good actor that completely like
He get
can't do
involved
it.
to get sucked in.
It's sucked in.
He's like always playing his old school roles though.
Yeah,
He fits
but
into
he's
the older
good.
times. That's probably why though. Those ones he did so well.
Right.
Anytime they have an old school job, they're like, let's hire him.
We were talking about
wow.
the guy from Third Rock from the Sun.
Old man.
What's his name?
Conan, wasn't he a Conan? No.
He was Harry and Henderson's guy.
Yeah, I know the old man though.
Yeah.
The professor from that show.
Yeah, and like you can't watch him because he's such a good actor that you just lose yourself into his characters. Yeah. And he'll be like such a nice guy, and then all of a sudden he'll be like this terrible dude.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I can't trust you.
And what's up, Crazy? Welcome in. Crazy's here.
Hey, Crazy, how are you?
She said and then Nerdy said she's got her eye on him now. Hey, Burning, what's up, dude? How you feeling? How was the surgery? Didn't she have this? His little good. At least the commands are working. Thanks for testing that. The commands are still working. 'Cause I'm on my laptop right now at someone else's house too, so it's the first time trying. But how are you feeling, man? How's the recovery going? John Litko.
John Litko.
Yeah. See, Nerdy knows everything.
See, dude, got it. That's exactly who it is, right? But he's untrustworthy. Like, he's such a great actor that you can't... Oh, there.
Chat whenever you want to as well.
Oh, I'm all right. I mean, I could talk to them, right?
Yeah, you can talk about if you wanted to read anything.
Oh, no. That I'll leave it to you.
Yeah.
But, yeah, John Lithgow, it's like he's... Like, Third Rock from the Sun, that was my jam.
What else was he in? Like, he was like a parent. What? Oh, he was in the one with Marky Mark and Will Ferrell, right? Or was it Will Ferrell, Marky Mark, where they were like competing to be the better dad or stepdad, and then it was like Will Ferrell's dad. Will Ferrell's dad. Yeah.
He like it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, they're like giving each other kisses and hugs and whatever. Yeah.
And like, what is that? Like the nose.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, they're like, what the heck?
Like you can't. I don't trust him. If he were to give me $100, I'd have to test it because he's such a good actor.
Oppenheimer was not the best, but not that great of a dad.
Yeah.
But she's using his characteristics and his like persona, but she's making him like a good daddy, like a really good loving daddy. But her story, it's really cool. She's always given lore and stuff about it, and super great. If you ever go in the Discord, which you don't have Discord set up yet.
I don't have Discord.
We can. I'll just.
I'm an old guys, and I don't do all of that stuff. So.
Yeah, she's running for the best papa ever. Yeah, her version, the Oppenheimer, is a good daddy, taking in like stray like animals and stuff too.
That's awesome.
Just saying, hey, I'm pulling up the. It's today. Hey, man. Well, Burning, I'll be praying for you, dude. Good luck, and let me know afterwards. Even if you just message me on Discord.
Get well soon.
Yeah, let me know how you're doing after the surgery and everything, buddy. Thanks for saying hey. I'm not gonna rule the chat tonight. Tonight it's not tonight. Oh, you mean tonight? I don't know if there's gonna be a stream tonight, guys. Because all my kids and everyone has tomorrow off, so they'll be up really late. Mm-hmm. And then we're going up early tomorrow. We're going to the zoo in the morning.
Are we still doing the zoo tomorrow?
As far as I know, aren't you guys still going?
We're still going if we're still going.
Yeah, according to them, they still are. I talked to her last night.
Yeah. Well, considering she wasn't feeling well today.
Yeah, the mom had to go over to get her. But yeah, so there might be a chance, but don't look for it because there could be a chance for stream tonight, but don't look forward to it.
So we're doing a crafting time. So this is not just my only craft. I do other crafts, but I'm gonna pause this craft and I'm gonna show. I wanted to show you the things that I made.
Oh, the earrings and stuff. Yeah, she's super crafty, guys. I'm just trying to be crafty. She's actually crafty.
I'm just a bored housewife, I guess.
Let me see. Yeah. Bro, I'm living like a day ahead. What do you mean you live like a day ahead? It's all good today. Today. You meant today. All right. Not tonight. Well, it still works. There might be something tonight. Oh, nice. Look, she's making all these cute... Oh, they're cool. The snowflakes and everything. I don't know if you can't really see it on... Oh, the mushrooms came out good.
Right, and I made these little...
These are all epoxy,
I made these little dog tags.
Legit dog tags?
Where'd it go? Dog tags, but like... I didn't write anything on them, so you can...
Here, show them. See if you can see the mushroom. Oh my gosh, you made a million of them.
I made a million of them. Here, I'll come closer.
We gotta go to a crafting fair and start selling them.
But
these are cool because they're not dangles. They're actual.
They're not dangle ones, but like I just made a few, and they're not for anything. I just like to make stuff, right? So I just got a new mold, and I wanted to try the new mold, and because I'm a crafter.
Kitty earrings.
Because I'm a crafter. Oh, those are white. They don't come up very well. But in any case, like, these are cute. They have like a little glittery coming through here.
It's just hard to see.
I know.
I'll take a picture of some of them and throw them in Discord so you guys can see it better too.
Some of them are better than others, but I wanted to. Like, look at that. That's pretty cool.
Like, oh, you like these big rings too.
I like the big
You just
jumbo
make 'em.
rings.
And you made that out of epoxy. It's not like the ones you're gonna glue on.
Yeah, no, I made them
Heck
out of.
yeah,
I made this out of I made the bead out of epoxy, and then I had the ring base.
All right, yeah. Because you
Already.
were about to buy the stones, but instead you just made them yourself,
Yeah.
huh? Oh, yay, so much fun. Marigold. Oh, the medicine rabbit from her story. She knits. Oh, perfect. There you go. So now you can get some inspiration, I guess, right? Do you do anything like that, Nerdy? Do you knit or crochet or anything? There's some inspiration here. Yeah, there you go. You can see how knitting and crocheting and all that stuff, how they chat and talk, right? How lame we are.
We're very lame.
Putting the nose to the grindstone, working. Yeah, you're working. I understand if you get behind on chat because you're like, oh, those are cute too.
There's an embed in there. There's a
I know.
little mushroom embed in there.
Did you make the mushroom yourself? Or
Yeah.
That's
Even
cool.
this one, like, there's a little fly or bee.
Oh,
embedded in
yeah.
there.
That's crazy. You can do all that.
Yeah. But that
Especially-
little mold had the mushrooms
Yeah.
or the little things in there,
You
so I
put it
just
inside.
I like this. I did this
yeah,
swivel.
just your own designs
Even
too.
the cat. Where did it go? The cat has a little glitter swivel thing.
Oh yeah. I
Would
didn't
you
notice that.
girls like any of these? Because genuinely,
can ask
I'm
them
not
to
gonna
come
keep
over.
any of these.
Or you can save them too for the craft if we do
Yeah.
another craft show to sell them.
I mounted them. I got them all sorted. But so what happens is like if you guys do resin, I do UV resin stuff. So what happens is like I pour some resin, I mix glitter, and you can't just like pour one thing because you would end up always having extra. So I then use it for another thing and another thing.
Whatever
So
you
by the
feel.
time I'm done making this, there's still leftover
Three
for that.
more.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's funny.
So I set out to make one earring, and then I end up with 6 things, and then I have
Like, yeah,
Extra
that's
for-
good though. At least better than having too little, I guess.
exactly.
Yeah, and then crazy, you're living ahead because you keep thinking today is Friday. Yeah, I hate that, especially when it's like, well, luckily it is our Friday because there's no school or anything tomorrow. But when it's like, yes, it's gonna be off for the weekend, it's like, oh crap, never mind, it's only Thursday.
Right.
And you want to make earrings too, like Gudetama ones. See if you find molds for them,
Yeah.
or make your own molds. If you have a Gudetama like little figure, make your own molds and then start pouring it. That'd be awesome. Let me see. I'm just trying to catch up on chat.
It's
Throw that
UV resin is good if you're gonna get. You can do a thick mold with UV resin. You just have to set everything layered. If you're gonna do anything really thick, you're gonna have to get the mix, like A/B mix resin or epoxy, and those take a little bit more processing
longer.
time, a little bit more. There's
It's
I don't
not
know,
super
baking
easy.
soda and vinegar or whatever you got to mix in with it. But I like I can get it done in 15 minutes.
Yeah,
type of
like I said,
crafts.
but she's gonna get anything done in 15 minutes, pretty much.
It's not great, but
It
it'll
gets
get
done, right? It gets
Yeah.
done. You got the remote control Gudetama. That's awesome. I thought you already had it. It was just a picture of it, and you don't crochet or anything. Well, you can hang out with our crochet and stuff sessions, and I'm sure a lot of it too, especially when there's all 4 of us, we'll probably get like lost in chatting on ourselves. So I'll keep reading chat and stuff too. I might not read all the questions out loud. I'll try to answer just so you guys know. But it's gonna be more like a hangout. Like we're all just gonna be chit chatting, and you guys can interject and say stuff too. But so forgive me if I get way behind on chat too.
Our craft group is great because we're all chatties, and we like some of us are better at multitasking, and most of us are not. So we just
Yeah.
end up sitting here talking and
Yeah.
working on one stitch. Or,
It's like a crafty hangout where like I said, one of us might be crafting, but the rest of us are just chilling and
yeah.
socializing and everything. And now you guys can be a part of it sometimes. Marigold did not make Hoppy's iconic hat. Oh yeah. Didn't you tell me that Marigold was one who probably made the hat or a scarf? I think it was. Not you're talking about. That's awesome. At least in your universe. I do have it. I'm glad you have it. Have you been driving it around and like running it into your cat? I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
What part of the body is that? Oh, is that the
7, 8,
fin?
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, sorry, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22.
There's a joke out there that says if you're gonna start crocheting, you have to really ask yourself, do you know how to count? Because if you don't, it's not gonna end out well for you.
55. Okay, yeah, because I don't remember what's my last row was, so I got to count it out to check. And I did switch myself right, so we're good. But I think the best thing about crocheting is when I found out when you mess up, it's so cool what they call it when you do a mess up. You say you frogged it. I don't know where it came from, but that's like the coolest thing. I was like, oh, I frogged it. I messed it up. And that happens a lot. Like you do a whole row, like 60 stitches, and then you're like, crap, I did it wrong or something. You have to pull them all out to the next row and restart. It's like, oh man.
That's why, I like to do stuffed animals because you're done with them, and then when you're done, you're done. But clothes become a problem because you are just working one row at a time, and if you're like me and like to go on to the next thing, I don't like it because it's kind of like you have to I want the shirt in 15 minutes. I don't want I don't want to keep working on it for days and days and days. So stuffed animals work best for me. And I have a whole big old IKEA bag right behind you guys full of stuffed animals just because of that reason.
Well, and like you said, it's just so much like less boring, I guess. It's just not just a row, or a granny square and a granny square and a granny square.
Right.
And then it's still cool because I want to do things, but having a stuffed animal like a little figure seems so much funner than like, oh, I have a beanie. Even though they're cool, I mean, I want to do them, but these, and you work in a round, which is funny. I don't really know how to make granny squares and stuff, which is usually the basic tool you learn with. But me, I've learned how to work in a round instead. She made both his hat and his scarf. She's a loving sister to him, and treats kids as if it was her own. Yeah, they're perfect parents for all these little animals. You got me started. Yeah, you're gonna literally go down the rabbit hole. No, I drive it and stop it like 4 feet in front of him. Oh, you're just scaring the kitty.
Aw.
Oh, yep. Just makes him jump in the air and move with the. Well, I guess it's better than running into him. I just can't wait till he starts slapping it. He's gonna like slap it over and flip it on you now.
Do you have your scissors with you?
Yeah.
I have my scissors, but I don't think you guys want that view, so I'm just gonna say.
Well, plus mine are cool unicorn scissors.
Oh yeah. All right. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, the girl Aria and River picked them out for me. You probably can't see them on camera now, but they're like, it's like rainbow unicorn, and the horn of the unicorn, there you go, is actually the scissors right there, which is pretty cool. But I mean, I wouldn't have picked it out for myself, but I let Aria and River pick it out, and actually,
it's a good scissors, though. It's like
yeah, they work good. They're like the best filling scissors I've ever had. Like, they cut so well.
So this is what we're working toward. Like,
she's working on a turtle. I'm making a squishmallow cat. She's working on turtles.
Yeah, so this is what I'm working toward. Like, I had leftover. This one's the blueberry version, and this is, my son calls this the America turtle because
it's supposed to be like a snow cone, though, right?
Yeah, but the snow cone version. This is the snow cone of that.
Oh yeah,
yarn.
there's the normal snow cone, and there's his turtle counterpart.
Yeah, this is the snow cone version. I had a bunch yarn left over from this one, so I just used it to make that turtle.
And they're so soft. That's the best part.
They're super soft, yeah.
I always use a soft yarn too. Nah, he won't slap it really loud. So he's scared of it, but you never know. He might get pissed off and start smacking and turning it over, though. Crazy, those are so cute, and Nurse is so cool. Oh,
yeah.
that's cool. Yeah.
This is the extra. This is just the regular star. But this so far is my favorite.
You have to show Ray which one. Oh yeah, that's the little like Grim Reaper.
My Grim Reaper ghost.
The thing too is she does all these like with no pattern. She just makes them up herself. I actually have to follow a pattern like the whole time, but she's just like sitting there knocking it out.
Well, it's I think for me it's because I think in shapes. Like
well, yeah, that's what they all are.
Yeah, it's just a super shape.
But you also understand crocheting better than me, like how each increase or decrease changes the form. Yeah. I don't really know that as well.
But it's also like I've been doing this since I was in my teenage years. I'm not in my teenage years anymore.
Yeah, and I've probably been doing it for about a year or so now or more, but I've only made like 7 things. So I make one thing every few months or sometimes. But with the crochet club, when we actually get crocheting, I should be able to help knock it out a little bit more. But let me show her. You want me to show her the Hoppenheimer with what's her name, with Nessa in his arms?
Yes,
let me
please.
find it. I'll show you. Yeah, because like it's legit. Like she draws it, and it looks like it looks like the Disney style.
Oh, that's so cool.
Disney style drawing. Like they look. Let's see if she has more in here, I think, too. Like, all of them, and... Oh, that's my little sticker. There we go. There's the first version of that.
That's so cool.
And that's Nessa's like a weasel, right? Is it a weasel, Nessa? There's a... Oh, I didn't even see this one. Where you have... I'm pretty sure that's the fox and Oppenheimer cuddle up next to a pillow.
I love the detail in his ear. That's great.
The little, I never even noticed that until that one. His little nick in there.
The little nick in the ear. That's from the character, right? That's from the.
No, because I've never seen it before. Because like the other ones like this, they don't have it.
Yeah, you got the blue eyes from.
It's Oppenheimer.
Yeah,
it's what it's based off of. But she made him into a good daddy, like not a.
The actor though has like crystal eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, see, no, it's such sweet dad vibes. But I just love, like, doesn't it look like the bunnies and stuff you'd see like in Disney?
Yeah.
Like it's legit. Like she should work for Disney.
Right. That is awesome.
Oh, look like little like Simba and all those too. Yeah.
It's like cells, like when you're like a Disney
the
cell,
drawing cells before they finalize it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just super.
I used to work for the Disney store.
You worked for the Disney store? I didn't know that.
I did. Well, back in high school.
And stuff. Yeah, she used to work for Funko, guys. So you might have some of her Funko reproductions.
I did. Many moons ago, I used to work for Funko. But yeah, I used to work at, like when I was in school in Hawaii, I worked for the Disney store, like just the store. And we used to sell I don't know if they still do, but they sell the cells, like the actual painted
I bought
cell.
cells from anime, like from Naruto cells too.
And man, there's collectors out there that will go crazy.
Yeah, because it's part of the actual movie. Yeah. It's not just like someone drew it. Like, no, this is from the movie. Like, it's from the actual process of the movie.
Right. So I used to work in Hawaii at the Disney store, and the Disney store, just like in the parks, they have like criteria for how you're supposed to dress and how you're supposed to behave, and you totally understand how that is. But imagine you're in Hawaii, it's like 98 degrees in the shade, and I had to wear nylon socks, khaki shorts, a sweater, and a button-down t-shirt with an undershirt underneath, because your shirt had to be like buttoned to here, and then you had to have a white t-shirt underneath.
Jeez.
And a sweater.
And it's so hot and humid out there.
Yeah, and they kept the store like at a temperature that would be comfortable for the employees to kind of wear these gear.
Oh, good.
So the windows would like frost up because it would be so
cold. It's like compared to the outside. Yeah.
It was crazy. But you'd have to wear nylons with your shorts, and you had to wear shorts. There was no like you can wear jeans, or not jeans, but pants.
Strict dress code, huh?
Yeah, well, because it was like
the Disney store.
Yeah, and then they call all the customers guests, etc. So you just kind of like you'd have to deal with it. And I worked there, and it was great, but I only worked there for a little bit because I was going to college at the time. And
yeah, she said some really cool jobs. Like I said, she worked at Funko and all that stuff too. She got some cool Funko collectibles that you can't get unless you work there. And you worked on the boxes art, right?
Yeah, I worked in the production department, and I worked on kind of cleaning up the box art and touching up, cleaning up the box art, talking to licensing, all that kind of stuff. But I worked there for a little while until my kids came and things and stuff. But yeah, and then they got really big. Like this is before Funko. Funko was always Funko, but essentially they started with a 4-man group that was a different company, and they started off with bobbleheads.
Yeah, I remember those.
And
they were on a Hot Topic was like their first place, huh?
Yeah, I mean really kind of indie brand, and they were really kind of a small group.
And it looks much uglier back then too.
Bro, I mean it was rough. It wasn't. I mean
you could tell they were there, but they weren't cute really, and they were like the kind of cheap little looking versions of these people. But
right, and then what it was like, there was these artists that were they were trying to find their niche, and the bobbleheads were the niche to kind of get into the toy game, and it wasn't like they were they weren't trying to compete with like a Hasbro or a Barbie. They were trying to really carve their own brand, and the people that saw their kind of need, they saw that their artwork was unique, but they still had to sell, and so they had one little feature called the Pop, and the Pop took off.
That's what was good. Yeah, and then even the Pop's gotten so much better over time.
Oh
too.
Yeah, and then they really started to focus on the at some point in their production, or as they started to grow, they really started to like focus on the cultural aspect, on what people wanted to see. And so their main focus, if you look at the history of Funko, they started to see like all these retro stuff. So they had like the retro cereals, and they had the retro, like they had Tony the Tiger and all those guys, and then a bunch of like the 80s brand cartoons, and then they started making like bobbleheads that were
pop art or
pop
popular
art.
stuff like Marvel and stuff. That's
Marvel
when I started
and-
collecting, when I saw the Marvel ones.
Exactly. And then they had like what is that? Big Bang Theory bobbleheads and like
that was
were-
earlier before I started fully collecting them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you got games and stuff too. All right, thank you, Nerdy. I'll show her in a second. Crazy was saying the uniform thing is a good idea when it's like a dress code is a uniform, not just a dress code. Because that's true. Like if it's dress code, then people are all doing their own thing. It looks better, but at least like, hey, you have to look a certain way. Let's just give you your shirt that you need and wear khakis or whatever. And she said too, because she would get in trouble for wearing like tank tops with thin straps and stuff too. And and that way then it's not like, hey, they're getting away with this and I find it uncomfortable, but it's like, well, it's not uncomfortable for if it's like they give you the shirt and the thing to wear, it makes it so much simpler than like, is this okay? Like I wore this, but it kind of, they're pushing the line. You know, you don't have to worry about bull crap.
And especially in Hawaii, where I was just talking about this too, because I grew up in Guam and Hawaii. I'm from Guam originally, and like we used to wear shorts to school, and that was okay. But we could never wear flip flops because Guam is a rainforest essentially, and you can't wear slippers to school because you'd be slipping and falling all the time.
It is super slippery out there. I went on some hikes, and part of the problem is all the rocks are always like moist and mossy. And...
Exactly, but in Hawaii at school you can wear flip flops, but you can't wear shorts. And I thought, well, the temperature's not that different, but it's not anyway. So I thought it was really so working at Disney in Hawaii, you have to wear the uniform like you said, because people kind of push the limits and you're just like, I don't know. There was one time, this is kind of TMI, but there was one time I was working and that's the movie Ransom. Have you guys ever watched the movie Ransom? It was with Mel Gibson and
hold on a second. You can't hear us?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hello? It shows it's working on the meter. Can you hear us? They said they can't hear us, but can't hear anymore. Because it shows the meters going up when we're talking. Can you not hear us still? You gotta give them the chat's a little behind. Like, it takes 30 seconds to a minute to catch up. Yeah. They said that you're not able to hear us. Like I said, it shows it's peaking, that top little nodule.
Right.
Whenever we talk, it's peaking. So it looks like it should be putting it through.
I can see somebody talking today.
Yeah, so they were up there, but now I don't see it on here. Oh, here we go.
Are we back?
The stream glitched and we can't hear you. Uh-oh. You still can't hear me? I'm texting them right in there too. Nope. Wait, what do you mean? Hey, what's up, Crusader, by the way? You still can't hear us? Crusader, are you able to hear me? I know you wrote back hello, but I also wrote in chat, so I don't know if you can hear me. I did, it didn't work. I don't know why. I think we have 8 viewers right now too.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Oh, I hear. You can hear it again now? Okay, did you refresh it or did it just randomly start working again? There we go. Everyone's hearing it again. I don't know, maybe it's just the internet coming in and out, especially it's lunchtime, it looks like, for a lot of people, so they're probably hopping on the internet, maybe stuck in some of the bandwidth. But you're good now? My voice is super high. That's just my normal voice. It must have the filter turned off, and now you hear my normal voice. I'm like a chipmunk.
It's a problem. Decided to fix it.
You restarted the app. Okay, maybe it's just something with Twitch then too. Let me see if I can hear on mine. Okay, it sounds good on mine, so I don't know. I was gonna show Ray as well the pictures, but the whole glitch started happening, so I'll show her in a second. But also, you didn't post the Barbie one. Twitch be twitching. Why do you think they call it? That's why they call it Twitch.
They be twitching.
Twitch is twitching. Yeah. So here's some of the other ones.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's one we saw.
Yeah.
I like he has like psychic powers. It's like Ferngully, Secret of Nim.
Yeah.
Like I said, he was like an experimental subject that got out, but he has like psychic powers rather than just like smart brain. mean, Einstein over here too. And she's gonna bring him into the world probably soon.
I love it.
But there's a Barbie one she did too. Oh, here it is probably. Yeah, there's the Barbie. Because you know the Barbieheimer thing that was going on, so she did her own.
I love how Barbie looks like a real person and not like this. Like Barbie has real proportionate, or her proportions are perfect.
Well, that's what's good about all of her like animals that she does. They're Disney looking, but they're also like human, like believable humans. It's not just like
the proportions are not like
not just a normal person, but it's still got the bunny like bends and stuff in the legs and the long leg or feet and stuff like that too.
Like Jessica Rabbit, impossible proportions.
You're getting Chipmunk Saya too. I didn't hear it on my app. Is it still Chipmunk Ash? And welcome in, Ash.
Guys, he's listening to you. We can hear him.
Yeah. Stop bullying me. They always bully me. But here's Ash. Ash is actually...
Hey, Ash.
Perfect. This is like her kind of stream because she's an amazing crocheter. She wants to send me the Viking hat that I wear.
Yeah.
And then the
oh my
kitties.
gosh, that was so awesome. That was the first thing that just that Saya showed me was your Viking hat, and I was like, who made this? I want to know. And then I started to dissect it in my brain, trying to think I could make it without a pattern. I can't make it without a pattern.
And she did it. I had to give her my measurement on my head and stuff too, and it was perfect too. And it was just great. And then, but she's the reason I'm still crocheting because I tried before her or knowing she did it, and I was trying to watch the YouTube videos and I just kept screwing up and couldn't do it. But she actually stops and is like, I'm like, hey, how do I do the magic ring again? Or what does this mean? Or how can I do that? And she's always there to be like, here, let me show you, or let me tell you.
That's awesome.
So thanks to her, I'm still crocheting.
That's awesome.
And go ahead.
No, so when I started crocheting, when I was hanging out with my mom, we had bought this, or when I was growing up, my mom and I started crocheting, and we made this huge old blanket, and when I went back in August, it was like wonky and all the things on my stitches were all, and she's like, look how far you've grown. Meanwhile, it's like years and years, you know.
Well, that's like the first one I did, a scarf I made for Klaus. It's because it was just, it's not in the round, which makes it easy. It was back and forth, and then I was ending on the wrong stitch a lot of times. It wasn't this, like I've learned, it's that little kind of half slide over stitch you have to end on. I think I was probably ending before it and then sometimes on it. So like the sides are like wavy.
Right.
It worked, but it was just like ugly as heck.
There's a thing right here.
Ash.
See that there's a line where you connect, Ash, you know what I'm talking about? Where that doubling, see that line right there? I'm trying to work my way for not seeing that. You see that?
Is it?
It's where you have to.
Is it where you do your increase, or is it when you start a new row?
No, it's where I connect, where I start a new row. I don't mind it when I'm working with say that word, amigurumi, whatever. When I'm working in the round, especially when I'm working with stuffies, I don't mind it because that's just where I put the head or the tail and I just cover it up.
Nerdy's saying nice to meet you. She's gonna be working.
Nice to meet you.
I don't know. Like Ash might know how to fix that. Like, see, Ash also does like she's making like Popeye and stuff right now. She does it without a pattern as well. She also does patterns, but she makes her own. But that's the thing too with Ash with Ray. All these things she makes, there's no pattern. Like she made the slug bug for her son. All these like turtles and stuff too. She just sees a picture of it and then she does it with no pattern, which is something you could definitely do. But I'm just like, no, I need my pattern. It is. It really is. Is it really chipmunky? Seriously? I wonder what happened because it was fine when we started, right? But now it's...
Yeah, it could be my neighborhood again.
It could be the internet. Yeah. It could be the Wi-Fi and stuff too. There's also lunchtime. It's like 12:30. So a lot of people that work remotely or even work close come home from work and have their lunch and stuff. And it's time for them to watch their shows or hop on their video games real quick or whatever. Yeah,
if Roger were here, you would not be able to even stream because he would be working upstairs.
Yeah, we can't do it on those. I don't want to take his bandwidth for sure. But yeah, we're going to try to, at least on some Thursdays when we do our crochet club, just hang out with you guys and stream. Even if it has mess ups and glitches, at least we're still able to hang out. And then also, there's usually 4 of us. So
this might be a perfect place for it because we can all gather around the table. Oh, we can do it.
Yeah, anywhere for sure. Or we just when we're here or something too. But my mom's usually here. We have one of Aria's friends' moms who's now our friend. We
hijack each other's kids' friends.
Yeah, that's how you make friends as an adult, right? Your kids get friends, so now we're their parents' friends, and that's the best though because now it's easier for us to be like, yeah, go ahead and play with them at their house because I know their parents.
Exactly.
It's not just some random people's house. You have no idea who they are. So
I was watching this YouTuber and she was just like, I don't let kids sleep over at other people's houses.
No.
And I'm like, you know what?
Very
No,
rare.
I don't. I absolutely don't. But I do let my kids hang out at your house or hang out at.
Well, it's different too because I have
friends
girls. She has a
house.
boy, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't want that either.
No.
But that's the same thing with me. I thought I would never let any sleepovers except for a couple family members. But there is a few close people, especially the ones that are in my block. It's right across the street that I'm able to trust to send. But once the girls get a little older, though, it's gonna be different too.
Yeah.
That's the thing too. Once they're old enough, then because you don't know. Even if I trust them, you never know,
Right.
obviously. But also, like, you don't know if the cousins are gonna be there, the uncles are gonna be there, whoever's gonna be there that might not normally be there. And I can't trust everybody.
No. And I have so my son has a best good pal that he's been since 7 months old. They've been best good pals, and his mom and I are best friends, right? But there's gonna be a point where them having the same kind of relationship they have now is just not going to be appropriate. However, I still want them to be watchful of each other and protective because that's that relationship is going to make them aware of each other forever, which is fantastic. And I had your sister has the relationship with ideas that I have. Like I grew up with a brother, and my brother had all his friends over, so I had no romantic ideas about boys. I knew they stunk. I knew there was nothing special about a boy. They just take my food and push me around.
And they smell.
So I want that for
especially teenagers. They smell so bad.
They smell and they eat all the food and they eat it off your plate, and I'm like, no, I want that for my daughter, my friend's daughter, and I want that for my son. I want the relationship that he knows that that girls have feelings and they're complete human people and not just for
crazy. You're talking about romance because you want to talk about your novel, huh? I want stories how y'all met your wife and your husband.
Sweet.
Hold on real quick though too. Ash, she asked because you said you were talking about that line.
Yeah.
She says, so do you mean when you're not working in the round or no, when you are working around?
I'm going to come in close. So
Ash, she's going to talk to you right now. Okay, crazy. We'll get back to your question in a second.
Ash. So right here, you see the demarcation line where it connected? I just figured out how to weave under and then pull through underneath the first line or the first stitch from the beginning. But I don't worry about it when I'm working with stuffies, only because I know I'm going to connect the head there and it's kind of like a texture. But in any case, I don't like connecting, and I don't ever mark my stitch because I always build from like that. Yeah, I always build my stitch up first. Excuse my chunky sausage fingers, but in any case, I build. So you can always tell, I always know where I'm starting, and that's probably why there is a demarcation line. But in any case, it doesn't bother me if it doesn't bother you.
Yeah, luckily, especially when you're not a crocheter, you're not going to see those slight imperfections or those little things where we see it and we're like, oh, look at that mess up, or that when you went too loose on your stitch right there. And in our head, like any artist, it's like we overanalyze our own stuff, and it's like, that looks like crap. But someone else sees like, it's the most incredible thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, because you're talking about...
You see the demarcation
right here. I see it. But yeah, so that also, it's so small.
And that's where, like, on this one...
What are you doing here that's doing that?
It's because when I connect, I connect to the first line from the stitch right here. So you end up seeing the ridge right here.
You want to do the front loop?
I don't. I do the front. I do the underneath right here. So I'll get to it here and I'll show it to you. But like on here, you can't even tell because there's so much texture on the thing that I don't even worry about it. And then on my blueberry pie turtle, I just hit it. You can't even tell. It's a blueberry.
But so you're only working on the front loop of the stitch when you connect it?
No, yeah, I'll show you when I get to there. And then
siblings, friends.
Yeah, I like to just make stuff, and people say, "Oh, you're crafty." I'm like, I just like making, and I've never not made. Funny story. Somebody asked about a history story. Like at one time, I thought I was super clever when I was like 8 or 9 years old, and I took 2 toilet paper rolls and I wanted to make a vacuum. So I put my lips on the other side of the toilet paper roll and I vacuumed up my carpet and ended up with a full mouthful of dog hair.
Worst carpet cleaner ever. That's like when you're siphoning the gas and you get a mouthful of gas.
Yes, I've done that. We had to siphon the gas for the boat, for one of our boats, and
or not spit out the gas. Yeah. So bad.
It was gross. But yeah, who asked how we met? I met my husband.
Crazy.
I met my husband on AOL.
Yeah.
If you can date that, you know how old I am.
Instant Messenger or like in the chat room?
I met in a chat
room. I never did AOL chat rooms. I did Yahoo.
Did you?
Yahoo chat room. But I wasn't supposed to be. I was too young. I wasn't supposed to be. But I went to my friend's house, so we'd be on there. And a lot of times we'd just be goofy and acting dumb, but it was all new and stuff too. But I know my friends would always try to meet girls on there. I was luckily never into that because they're probably like 70-year-old men just being weird.
Gross. Yeah.
But yeah, there's no pictures, no profile, no backup, so there's probably really easy to be shady on there.
Oh, 1,000%.
You got lucky Roger wasn't some like 80-year-old dude. And
I think he was more lucky that I wasn't an 80-year-old.
Yeah.
So here's my connection. Sorry, I got to it and I disconnected. So what I do is I get to because I'm doubling and I get here and I'm gonna double again. And then I work the first stitch from the row, and I just do.
Wait, come back out real quick.
So I did the.
Okay, isn't this the first? That's not the first stitch right there.
No, that's the first post.
Okay.
So this is the post, and then this is the stitch, and then I do like that, and I pull through.
Is it because you're double crocheting? I haven't done a double crochet
and
round.
so you see that first post pop through, and honestly, I could do it different, where I go like this. Right, and pull it through, connect, and then go back in, pull through, pull out, and then it disappears, and then I can, do that.
What if you only work, like I said, do the front loop only?
I could do the front loop.
Instead of both, maybe less of a bulge, right? Or,
yeah, that's the thing. And then it kind of shows. But in any case, I don't mind when I'm doing that word. Whoever said that did not have a speech impediment. Let me
Ash,
tell you.
do you know what she's talking about, by the way? Like, do you understand what she's trying to get at? It's harder for me because she's working a double crochet, right? In each one.
When I connect the stitch, I do 2 chains, or excuse me. Yeah, I chain 2, and then I do single crochet in the row.
Oh, that's why, because you're chaining.
Yeah, I chain 2, and
she's chaining on every single new row.
Yeah.
That's why it's so weird, because me, look at it, it's smooth. I don't chain. See, and that's the thing too. Like, I think Ash, you've told me that when we work in the round, a lot of times it does show like a chain and then go, but you always say don't do the chain.
Yeah, that's why your lines don't show and mine do.
So why don't you just not chain?
Because I don't have to mark my stitch.
Okay. Oh, that's true. But then mark your stitch. Do you know what? That's what it is, Ash. So, let's see. Wait, yeah. So because you close the row, that's what the chain is. It closes the row. You have an individual row. You're not working in the round. That's why I'm working in the round, which is what a continuous row. I haven't. That makes sense though. Yeah, not in the round. That's okay. So you're just doing it a difficult way because you're used to it.
Yeah.
The only thing, do you think, Ash, like my idea was maybe if she just worked her new row, start in the front loop only instead of all of it? Would that do you think that would make it a little bit less of a bump? Because the other bumps push to the back of the building up rather than the front. But either way, yeah, that's why okay.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, at this point, I'm like,
You're stuck in your ways.
I'm kind of accustomed to it, but also I use it as a part of a texture on my piece.
And that's the thing too. Honestly, without telling anybody, especially people that aren't crocheters,
right? Where did your body go?
Okay. They're not gonna find that.
No.
And then, yeah.
Ash, so if you ever see me in person, Ash, don't be looking at me for my stuff.
Burn her yarn so she can't
beat that abomination. If you ever come to one of my craft show and be like, toss my table up, and be like, we're about to fight.
Tell her she's not doing amigurumi.
Yeah, I'm
She's doing just chaining and posts and stuff.
Yeah, let's talk about the juicy stuff about what that kid, the other guy asked us about our relationship.
She was a girl.
I forgot, sorry.
How dare you? Crazy.
Crazy, there you go. Yeah,
it's okay. I was calling Nerdy a boy for like a month before she corrected me.
Yeah. Let's talk about what Crazy said, because I can't pronounce amigurumi, and Ash is asking about personal stuff about my
Ash
stitch
isn't.
connection.
Oh.
I would rather talk. I take stitch connection more personal than my relationship.
Yeah. You can talk crap about her husband. Just don't talk crap about her stitches.
Don't talk crap about my stitches. We're gonna fight.
What did I do with my marker?
But yeah, so I met my husband, married my husband within 6 months. Fact. And we have been together for 23 years.
I met and married my wife within 9 months. I think it was 9 months.
9 months you married, and you guys got married?
I think it was 9 months, or 9 months is when we proposed. I don't remember.
Ah.
March?
Yeah.
No, I think it was 9 months. No, I think I proposed in 9 months, and then it was like March, April, May, June, July. So then it was like 16 months from the beginning to get married, I think.
Oh, right on.
But I met mine on Facebook, which is funny.
it.
It's old because it's not Facebook. Sorry, MySpace. It was before Facebook.
Yeah.
That was back though. We were in high school, and her boyfriend at the time was like a douchebag boyfriend, and
Of course she's gonna say that.
Well, he flirted with a lot of other girls.
Oh, true.
So she wanted to make him jealous back because he would always be hitting on girls on MySpace. So went to the girl that he's been hitting on the most with, and went to her friends. And I was like her top 10 or whatever it was back on MySpace. I was on her page, and so she's like, okay, well, there's one of her friends, and she said it was cute. So she's like, I want him to see that I'm talking to one of her friends that's on his page or whatever. And then it was just friendly though, but she was just talking to me, and we kind of made friends. And I don't know if I don't know if I was single at the time or not. No, I was single, but she wasn't. But she just talked a little bit, and then we didn't actually start talking until they broke up and everything too. And then it just escalated from there. But yeah, I was basically just the dude that she used to try to make her boyfriend jealous, and then ended up marrying him anyways.
I met where'd he go? So I went online right after work, and I was on AOL for, I had dated people from AOL, or I met up with people on AOL every once in a while, and I got home from work, and I was kind of tired, but I was bored, and so I got on on AOL they had chat rooms and stuff, and so I got on an 808 chat room because I was living in Hawaii at the time, and I literally put on there, I am awake and I want to talk, and I want to talk to somebody in the area that is willing to talk to me. And after I talked to Roger, he said, I just came on here to check my email, and I got stuck talking to you, and it was like 11 p.m. at night, and we stayed up that night until 2, and it was in March, and he came. So we were living in Hawaii at the time, and I lived in Maui. He lived in Oahu, and we met online in March. He came and flew out to meet me in April, and then we got married that January, and that was it. I don't know if he was dating, but. I was dating when I met him, but I wasn't like serious with anybody, and then we just kind of got together, and 23 years later, here we are.
So that's sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ash said one day she might be able to make a trip, and then we can have a huge crochet club.
Heck yeah, Ash, let's do it.
And she also said that she doesn't think that should be doing that. She's going to play around with it and see if she can figure something out for you.
Oh,
and
sweet.
she'll get
Yes,
back
please.
to us. Yeah, just tell me, because she's not all in a Discord or anything yet.
Yeah.
Or
hey, Ash, P.S., thank you for sponsoring me the other time. When I first came on, you sponsored me, or you, what is that?
She gifted sub for
You gifted the sub for me, and I
Yeah.
didn't realize, and then Sai had to explain it to me because I had AOL, guys. Come on.
Yeah, she met on AOL. Her husband, so.
My husband is older than I am.
I hope I have a romantic way of meeting my future husband. Well, I mean, it's kind of romantic, but at the same time, I was kind of just being, like, used, right? But it worked out. Like I said, we didn't talk. It was just a quick talk a little bit here and there, and then nothing actually happened until they broke up. But, yeah, she did a lot of douchebag guys. But, I mean, there's a lot of douchebag guys out there, period.
Can I say, from the token old person here at the table, that, honestly, it is what you make it, guys. Like, don't rush out saying, oh, romance is going to be what I want it to be, but, like, or it's supposed to be this way, dude. Like,
Because
make it
book.
what you, make it what you want it to be. Make it extraordinarily odd. Because the reality is that if you, I forget where the quote came from, but it's like, you don't say I do, you have to say I will. Like, I will change, and I will love you as you change, because that's the reality. You're going to grow into the person that you're going to be, and if you don't choose to love that person through all the growth, you're going to grow out of them. And they're going to grow out of you. So you just have to say I will and not I do.
Well, there's also a quote that I like is, instead of just following your heart, you got to lead your heart.
Yeah.
It's not always going to be easier, like, oh, this is perfect because we're doing this. It's like, no, you know what? It's going to suck, but you got to say, I want to work through this because I care enough about this person to deal with that bull crap, or to get over that bull crap, or try to compromise. What are you guys working on, by the way? She is making another turtle, right?
I'm making some like this.
She's making turtle packs.
I have, so what ends up happening always, and Ash, you can totally agree, because I'm sure this is the truth. You work on a project, and you end up having a ton of scrap yarn. And so that's what happened. Like, I have a ton of scrap yarn, and I don't know what to do with it. And turtles don't eat up, or they don't eat up a lot, so you can end up having...
Well, especially because the body is usually a different color than the pieces.
Exactly. And so I'm just using, like, this.
Scrap yarn.
This is a different project. I made an axolotl with this. Actually, made 2 axolotls with this little one skein of yarn. And so now I'm making the turtle with the leftovers.
Turtle.
And then this will probably be the filling for the head and the tails. I should have used the filling for this, or if you use the filling. But in any case, like I just make all these turtles or little bits and bobs with the scrap that I have.
Ash says the turtles are adorable. Crusader
Thank
says
you.
turtle. And
I love
then
turtle.
what Ash says she used to use ICQ and MSN. I know what MSN is, but I don't know what ICQ is.
ICQ is not from States, right?
Oh, maybe because it's Australia. She's from Australia.
Yeah, it's not from the States.
Lots of good people, but a few bad apples. Yeah. And then you said too, when women are good at picking bad guys. At the same time, there's a lot of dumb bad guys. And also, a lot of times when you're in the beginning of a relationship, it's like a honeymoon phase. So it seems like, oh, I picked a good guy. But then a few months down the line, when they get comfortable and show their true colors, then you realize, oh, crap, he's actually kind of a douche. But by then, you're already like, like, hey, I'm already in this, so I'm just going to stick with it. And I think that happens a lot of times, which is the problem, too. Just be more selective, maybe, and don't rush into dating him right away. Maybe date them as friends, and then after a while, then it's like, yeah, you know what, I see his true colors, and he's good, I'm going to be with him. Or, hey, he's kind of scummy, so let's just stay friends.
You know what's so funny? Like, I didn't think that, at the time when I was growing up, I thought this was such a terrible idea for my dad. But my dad, when I was growing up, he said, you can have as many friends as you want, but you can't date. And I thought that was like a terrible thing, right? But what it did allow me to do is understand that boys weren't that special. Like, I wasn't boy hungry. I wasn't like down to have romance all the time. One, because I had an older brother that had friends that stunk and would take my food off my plate. But also it meant that I could have friends and not have this boy saying he is my boyfriend, and because my dad wouldn't allow it. So, and he said, you can have a boyfriend when you're whatever. I know, right?
That's what I tell the girls, like, oh, when you're 42, you can have a boyfriend.
Exactly. My dad said, you can have a boyfriend when you're 18 or 16 or whatever it is, but you can have as many friends as you want. And I thought, well, why can't I have a boyfriend? He goes, well, you can do whatever you need to do with your boyfriend or with your friends.
Yeah.
You can go on dates with your friend.
You can go to movies.
You can go to movies. You can do
dinner,
everything with your...
But you don't need to get physical.
Exactly. Yeah. And then when I got older and was able to understand...
Because you're dumb when you're little. You don't realize that the long-term effect, especially as a woman, is a lot different than a dude. Exactly.
And like... so when I was 16 or 17, I had that conversation with my dad. And I'm like, why can I have a lot of friends but no boyfriends? And my dad said, well, it's because you're going to have a lot of romantic feelings about people, but you don't want to single on one until you're serious. Says the dude that got together with his current wife, my mom, at 15. My parents were together since they were 15. They're still together, and they're like the best and worst enemies of each other.
They're old school, though. Yeah.
So
and different generations do it differently back then. And from you guys are a lot more, your culture over there is a lot different than out here.
We're traditional.
Yeah, they're from Guam, so they're definitely a lot different traditional than especially us in America.
Yeah, we're more villagey, tribal kind of community. But in any case, it makes sense now, because the reality is that you're not going to be that, flighty heart eyeballs kid that that these people that kids are. And then if you start having romantic ideas early on, then you think that that's all that it is, and you forget that you are their friend first.
Well, and then it just makes I hope it can get you involved where like you start relying your own self-worth is if we have a good relationship too early. You know what I mean? Because then you start like, hey, I don't have a boyfriend. It's because something wrong with me. I need to get a new one or something. Because I used to be like that when I first started dating, but I wasn't like till 17 when I got my first girlfriend.
So we were my son and I were sitting here, and he goes, oh, good thing Dad doesn't cheat on you.
Well, yeah,
I mean, that is a good thing. I was like, what?
But where'd that come from?
But my son, our kids go to school together, right?
Yeah.
So, and he comes out of the clear blue sky stuff, and I was like, where did that come from, buddy? And he's like,
show or?
Likely a show. But he goes, oh, all the girls say they cheat on the boys cheat on them, and I was just like, well, what do you think that comes from? I said, that's not a kindness, and he goes, that's not, what do you mean that's not a kindness? I said, well, if you're dating somebody, you should be their friend first. And do you think cheating is a kindness to your friend? And he goes, like, it literally, like his eyeballs were saucers. Like, oh my goodness.
It just made that connection, yeah.
And then it made me think of what my dad said. Like, you can have a ton of friends, and then you learn to be a friend to that person you're in a romance with, because you value them as a person, right? And not this, oh, look at how cute he is, and then that's all the value that he has for you.
Yeah.
Or you have for him, or whatever it is, and then you grow in lust or whatever. But no, dude, they're people, and they're gonna You're gonna be people, and so when you get married, you're looking at. I didn't know this. I didn't have this wealth of 23 years of marriage until I do now. But let me tell you, if I were a young parent, I would have been completely different than I am right now. And I think, oh no, it's like I think the head is not
just
proportionate.
sizing it up. Yeah, see, it's awesome. And Ash said, crochet and dating advice. It's not what I thought I would wake up to. Right, that's what it turned into. And then Crazy said she's only had 2 her whole life, but it's never worked out, or hasn't worked out, and she needs to be with someone that's older. I think that's a normal thing for girls though, but mainly because girls mentally age better than men, so that's why a lot of times it happens. Boys are still dumb and having fun and being idiots when the girls are like on the next level of like getting closer to being adulthood. So that's why it's always so common for girls to be with older men. Obviously not crazy older men. Don't.
Yeah, that's not good.
Like she said even if it's a couple months older. But yeah, exactly. I think it's just easier on your mental maturity. For women are more mentally mature than most dudes for the most part.
Emotionally.
Emotionally and mentally, because the guy, like I said, guys just like to have fun, be dumb, punch each other, whereas girls are like already like. You know
what drives me crazy is when adults romanticize kids' relationships. Like it drives.
Our kids are dating. Heck
no,
they're not.
Or like
I'm gonna punch a 7-year-old.
One of our craft group moms that comes to this table, her little daughter, she has such a romantic personality, and she just is crazy. I love her to death. She's like my little mini me. I love her. But she said that she went on a date with my son, and their version of a date was to walk around the track at the school. And I thought that was the cutest thing, but I left it at that. And I didn't want to give it legs. I didn't want it to let it grow. And then all of their little gang of friends were like, oh my goodness. And they're all panicking about it. And then the adults chimed in, and I wanted to pluck all of their throats out. Let's not do that. They're just forming out how to act to each other. Let's not romanticize every relationship.
Because to them, it's just basically like a best friend. Exactly. That's what they think dating is, like a best friend. That's the opposite sex. They're like, oh, it's a girl and it's my best friend, so we're dating. That's what,
exactly.
But there are some kids, like, I'm not going to name names, but there's a couple of kids that was crushing on Arya.
Right.
And
that they were going to be inappropriate.
They were like, watching too much old shows or something because they know what dating really is, and they want to.
And they had older siblings.
Yeah, and they actually want to do like the dating things, like kissing and doing all this. It's like, no, she's in 3rd grade.
Right.
But and what's up, Paige? Welcome in. Ash says she's never had a boyfriend, but in the last 8 years now I've gotten to the point where I can relax and actually talk to a guy. I relate to that because I mean, obviously I was younger than you are, but I was in, I think, senior year in high school, and I found out one of my friends had a crush on me, and I stopped talking to her. I wasn't her friend anymore, and I couldn't talk to girls at all. And like,
panic.
Honestly, before I got my job as customer service, I had such hard time talking with anyone I didn't know. And now, after especially customer service, I had to talk to people all the time as my job. So now I can just strike up a random conversation in like Walmart with somebody or something too.
It's so funny because I know you in real life and I know your mom, and I'm like, I never could expect that from you.
But how I was shy back then?
Yeah.
Well, and I'm streaming now too. Like, it's just talking to random people sometimes, and it's personal talking, or drawing is hard too, because then it's like all these amazing artists are watching me suck.
Right.
And I got to learn to get over that and like, I'm just trying to have fun with it, because it is nerve-wracking.
It's so funny too, because I do that as well. I draw. And we met, and I was like, oh yeah, you draw, oh, cool. And then he showed me stuff. I was like, all right, I don't that's
draw.
Cool. I don't draw.
Well, that's like them, like Ash, Fruits, Nerdy, all these people, everyone that posts in here. It's like, I will do the art challenge. I'm like, oh, I'm so proud of my work, and then they post theirs, and I'm like, I'm not even gonna finish my work because it's not gonna compete. No.
Right. I did a mural at our school. And I was trying to throw Saya in the bus. I'm like, hey.
Well, I would have helped, but you didn't tell me you were going though. Too.
Well,
I know you're going to do it, but I didn't know when.
Yeah, but I mean, I wanted to have you do it, but I also didn't want to make you obligated to do it because it's a crowd, you know.
It turned out great though. Everyone loves it. They're all taking pictures of it at Halloween and stuff.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I genuinely did. I did it, and it was like a passion project for me because I've been wanting to do it. I do Chalk the Walk. Our school has Chalk the Walk every year, and it's just us parents or PTA members kind of going and putting thank you marks on the ground for the kids. And so I made for every year that I did it, I made a big old picture. And this year, the principal allowed me the PTA allowed me a wall. And then the principal asked me if I can actually put that painting or make it a painting and put it on the wall. And so that's what I did. And I was so like, should I do it? I was intimidated because there are so many better artists than I am. And But I was like, okay, I don't want to show you my work, but cool. But I'm more cartoony anyway, so it's fitting. I'm not, I'm not a realistic artist or any kind of graphic novelist kind of person. I'm just like cartoony. That's all it is.
Well, that's the thing too. Like, that's the thing I've been trying to lean in towards, like with the stickers that I'm doing, is that like it's so fun and nice with the landscapes and that new like cartoony like figures drawing that I've been doing, is because when I do the portraits and I do the other stuff too, I'm so like worried about exactly straight lines and not every single part of the line looking the same thickness and not being lame. Whereas I do the scratchy, cartoony stickers or the figures, it's so much more freeing and fun because it's just like it's gonna have wonky lines. Some things are gonna be a little bit out of proportion, but that's the style and looks good. It just feels so much more
organic,
fun.
yeah.
It's just fun to do, and that's like landscapes. Like they're literally not straight lines, so they're easier and funner to do. And you got to actually have structure and learn to make it look better. But breaking that structure is so much funner than trying to. That's why it's hard for me. Like I used to think hyper realism was like the epitome of like art. Like you're not a good artist unless you can do hyper realism. Everyone else just kind of sucks and they're getting there, or whatever.
Right.
But after trying to do hyper realism and then learning stylization. You're not stylization because you suck. That's different. Like, oh, I suck, so that's my style. No, but the fact that you know how to make...
Like a mindful style,
Well, because it's just funner. Because if I wanted a hyper-realistic portrait, why would I pay someone I can just print it out of the picture? It's already there. But when you have someone that you can tell, like, hey, that cartoony dog or rabbit version of Oppenheimer, I can see Oppenheimer in it, but it's not Oppenheimer. I can see it much more fun and cool to me and more valuable. You know what I mean?
Right. Have you guys ever heard of a guy named Noel Fielding? He's a comedian, he's a actor, whatever, and he's an artist, and his style is very chaotic. Like it's super just, it looks manic, but it also looks pop. It also looks like you can almost pull out these features of, you could tell that he's studied art. So it's not, like arguably, if you were to be unaware of his style or unaware of like style art theory, you look at it, it looks crap. I mean, genuinely looks crap. But like, if you were to look at his work, you could see features of like realism and graffiti and all the things. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Noel Fielding.
I'll look at the picture, Crazy and Ash. I'm gonna check it real quick. I'll look at it, Crazy, and then Ashley, I'll see your current crochet project. Speaking of, I'm working on like a Squishmallow cat because the girls are really into Squishmallows, so it's like a cat Squishmallow basically. But yeah, that's what I'm saying, because I've learned that too. Like I've drifted more towards like half realistic, half anime, because I love realism, but I also love anime. And the artist I see in there is the same thing. You definitely need to learn how to do the structures and do realistic versions and features. But when you learn to do it good enough, then you start breaking it to where it doesn't look like you're just suck at art. It's like you can tell they know what they're doing and they're choosing to make it look like bigger eyes, smaller nose, a little chin, whatever. Not just like he just sucks, It's Picasso because he can't draw, But
even the proportions of anime, they're very stylized. They're very structured stylization on the proportion between the framing of the eye and the amount of
They still do like the 1/3
yeah.
usually, and then I know that Disney. I saw someone talking about Disney, the way which is cool, and I bet you Nerdy would know this a lot, is they use like their people. They actually have cat features.
Yeah.
Like Elsa and Anna and all them. They have the little, like really big eyes, little mouth and nose and chin, and it's basically like the proportions of like a cat would be. Yeah. And so I guess everyone finds cats super cute, so they're like banking on that.
So one of the guys that worked for Funko, he used to work for Pixar.
Okay. Yeah.
And well, I don't know if he still works there, and I'm not going to name names because all of you guys who are nerdy like me would know who I'm talking about. But yeah, the eye proportions are what sells the cuteness.
Yeah.
And depending on the realism of the eye, and then the eyes determine the toy too. So if you have like a realistic figurine, is the figurine, and then the bobblehead is different, and the pop looks different. But if you notice now, like if you're scrolling through stuff, a lot of like the pop version of stuff is in everything. It's in Amaguri because of the
big round eyes,
portions of the eyes between. Yeah.
She's working on this. Ash. She's working on Betty Rebel.
Oh, cool.
And she's no pattern. You're almost done with her. She looks really good. It's crazy.
Do you put legs in, or do you put metal in the legs to
and
for
arms.
yeah to what
yeah.
is that
Do you
called?
have like the wires going through like a wire frame for
Yeah,
the
there
eye
you
so
go,
they
frame,
can
that's
so
the
they
word.
can like bend and hold form, or are you just kind of like working in the crochet and they just sit as they sit?
Yeah, what makes them stiff or what fills out your legs?
Probably because she's feeling like it's like a twisted cord. Like see if she's. It looks like. Oh no, it
Oh,
doesn't.
yeah,
Never mind.
yeah.
Never mind. It's just really. Maybe it's just really tight.
No, it's a.
Well,
Is
it's
it
a cord.
Is
It's
it
a
an I
cord.
cord or is it like are you in the round?
Yeah, I don't know. Like you know more
I
than
like
I
it.
do, but it's going really good. And the little nose is cute too.
How do you? So it's laying down. So do you have a rod in the neck too, or you just stuff it so it's stiff?
Yeah, let's see. Let me go back to chat so I can see what she's saying.
Yeah.
Thank you for timing out, Pretzel Rock. Hey, Fruits, welcome in, buddy. I didn't know. I thought you were sleeping, man. Thank you for the timeout too. That's gonna help a lot with chat. But yeah, let me check out your cat. I should have, but I didn't. So no wireframe.
Oh well, I mean it should have, but whatever.
Well,
but
the
you know,
good thing
like,
too
I was
is it's
curious
more-
because it's stiff.
Yeah, but the good thing is it's more cuddly. I probably thought the frame too.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's strong enough to where it holds itself. It's not just like a wiggle worm or something.
I made that ladybug girl. What's her name?
Oh, Ladybug.
Is it
And
Ladybug?
Cat Noir, yeah.
Cat Noir and Ladybug. Yeah.
Ash actually has. She hasn't done it in a while, but she has an online like Instagram.
Mhm.
She made her own story of Ladybug and Cat Noir, and it has a huge fan base. There's people. Where was it in Germany or Russia or somebody? Somebody actually took her art and they dub it and they put it up on YouTube and
Oh,
they have like the
really?
panels and they read it out loud like and stuff
That's
too. She had a
awesome.
huge following for it. Her own like fan fiction of it. And let me see real quick, Crazy. Oh yeah, your kitty's being a cuddle bug right now.
Oh, that's so cute.
What's good?
I'm super allergic to those cuddle
It's
bugs.
a
By
cat.
the way.
Oh. Well, the good thing about that, especially on your feet, is it can tell you're in blush and blankets and cozy. They're like personal, like little heaters too, and then on your feet is a good spot for them to keep you warm. Oh yeah, and cuddle up next to you. That's cute too, and they're like your little spoons. I love when my cats are my little spoons. I'll have to answer in a second. I'm feeding your cats. You're always feeding your cats, Ash. What the heck? Whiskey's like ruling your life. Well, because like every night is like dinner time for the cats too, and Whiskey will bug her.
Oh.
And now it's like breakfast time. I'm assuming. Let me see what time is it over there in Australia. Sora is so warm. Yeah, and then they purr, so it's kind of like a little massage and a heater at the same time.
I know. I mean, I think it's
it's
because
beautiful.
I'm allergic to them that I have this opposition against cats, but I don't get it.
That's why.
Lord love you, cat people, but I don't get it.
It's been cold lately. Oh, it's been really cold. Yeah, it's been cold out here too. Or it's getting cold. It got really cold, then it warmed up, and now when it's in the 40s and 50s, it's actually not that cold with our temperament out here. But it's been a lot higher this last week. But what was I gonna say? Oh, with the cat thing though too, I think unless you have them, you always see them as like the outdoor cats, where they're like, I only want love when I want love. And I'll nip at you and I'll do that. But when you actually have a cat, especially if you raise it really cuddly, you find out that they just love to be next to you. They let you pet them and then they lay on you, they cuddle with you, and they're more like a little friend. But you do still get the cats that are like standoffish. Like,
yeah.
I'll let you love me, but only when I want to be
From
loved.
there.
And those cats are the ones that why people don't, I think, like them. But did you get ones like Odin was and like how Kiki and stuff is, where they just want to be with you and you can hold them, you can fluff them over, you can put them in a bag, and then it's just like, okay, this is like my little partner.
I genuinely don't know because he keeps his cats.
Well, they hide from people too.
Yeah.
And then they don't get. Well, they don't like Captain. Captain is not gonna hurt him, but he wants to play, and they don't want to play.
Captain is a beast, guys.
Captain's a bear, like a bear ready for hibernation.
He eats pizza off the table.
He does. He keeps every time when there's pizza left out, like because we don't eat it all, and we're gonna put it away. He waits in that wait when you go to the bathroom for 1 second. He'll jump up and he'll eat the entire pizza, and it's so not good for him. And man. I don't like dogs, so I get it. It says crazy. It's not my fault. You only ever stream when I have to feed them. Well, I mean, how many times do you feed them during the day? Like, obviously breakfast is like 8 o'clock now there, so breakfast for them, dinner for them. My cats, luckily, I usually only have to put food out like once, and since they, like especially Cass and Kiki don't get along, they kind of like are standoffish when the other one's in there, so that it lasts longer in the day. They don't just go and bum rush it and like eat everything. Bro, Twitch being dumb because I keep getting ads even though I refreshed. I think, honestly, Crazy, I think when you refresh, it gives you an ad. I think how it works, like I'm not the best. I should know more about Twitch because I stream on it all the time. But when you first log in, I think it runs an ad for you or something like that too. So if you refresh, it's acting like you're first coming to the page, and it's probably Why? But that sucks. Twice a day, so it's perfect. So my day streams is feeding time, and my night streams is feeding time for you.
There's no luck. It's your fault. It's fine.
It's okay though, because then Whiskey associates me with getting fed, so that means he's gonna love me a lot more. Oh hey, he's on. Good. It's a good part of the day, so he gets excited for me to stream too.
He's just gonna be chunky. If you post more, if you stream more often, he's just gonna get this chunky cat.
Heck yeah. Wait, you just subbed? It doesn't show that you just subbed, but thank you for the sub, Crazy. And if you're subbed, you shouldn't get any ads. That's weird. That's really weird. Yeah, Twitch is definitely twitching out today because it might still sound like a chipmunk to you guys. Also, I also believe that my voice is probably a little bit different because I'm like, what, 4 feet away from the laptop. It's also a laptop microphone where I usually have my actual Shure microphone in my face, so it picks up a lot better for one. Also, I'm still recovering from being sick, so I have a little congestion. That might not be the best part. I'm like nasally right now, I think.
You're not so bad.
I sound normal. Okay, yeah, so it was Twitch, and then also it's giving you ads. Maybe there's just something going on with Twitch today. It has its hiccups.
I thought I had my cat noir or ladybug girl, crochet. But I trying to look for it, but I can't find it.
You never sent it to me. I don't think
I don't think so, right? I made it for my one of my friend's kids' birthday, and I made it for that and for her birthday, and then I ended up giving it to her, but I didn't want to like, oh, look at what I made. I wanted to surprise her because her friend's on my Facebook. But,
yeah, Ash would love to see that. Like, she has such cool, and Ash, she draws with like such a cute style and everything. Cause you've seen some of them probably.
Yeah.
And she adds that to the story, and then she does such really good environments and perspective on the backgrounds too.
I wish like it. One of those. I am very much a person that likes to quick gratification. I want some product right now, and drawing for me is a love, but I don't get a quick fix out of it, so I tend to kind of pick it up and drop it and pick it up and drop it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be traveling in the next couple days here, so whenever I travel, I bring my I'll bring
crochet.
my sketchbook and then a crochet project, because my sketchbook I'm constant, like I can't always bring my crochet out, but my sketchbook I'm just doodling. When I go to church I doodle, and then but I never have patience enough to work
finish.
On.
And that's why, like I was saying too, like this month I'm doing the stickers for my art challenge, because you heard me all the time. Like I love doing gestures and figures and sketching, and I want to do portraits, even if it's just the sketch of the portrait. But I get so wrapped up in my art challenge, and I want to finish it, and they're like fully rendered pieces. Like she said, I don't have as much time, but also it takes me so much longer to fully render my pieces. That I get kind of bored and don't want to do it. And the other time I don't have time for it.
Right.
And I'm trying to piece in little 15-minute sessions, and I get a couple colors down. It's like, man, when I can sketch a whole new figure or portrait or something. And so what I'm trying to do with the art challenge is do simpler things. I always say about like this month I'm actually doing it with stickers. Simpler things. So like in the first couple weeks, I can say have my couple stickers done, and if I feel like doing more stickers, I'll do them. But if not, I'm not like stuck in like I need to finish this art challenge, and then I never finish it, and then I get stuck in the new month's art challenge and never finish it. So that's the thing. My favorite part of drawing is sketching.
My favorite part of drawing is shading, and so getting to the part where I like the piece that I'm working on to shade it in, it drives me by, and I feel bad because my part of church is drawing. Like when I'm listening to the service, I'm drawing the message, right? And so I'm sitting there and I'm shading, and all you hear is.
Yeah, I know. I need to do that again too, because that's what I always was before streaming. As you guys know, I drew all the time, but I was always never finished projects. It was just doodles and sketches, and that's probably why I love it so much. So also rendering is harder for me too, but it's just so easy and common to doodle. And that's the thing is sketching and doodling, they're really quick, they're really easy, and they're loose. You know it's not going to be a perfect piece, so it looks fine. Whereas when I try to fully render, I'm not as good at rendering, and it just seems more like work.
Like a chore.
Like work more than like, hey, I'm having fun. And then I love the sketchy look too, so it's like I want to start doing, and even with the art challenges, I always take it like I want to do my best to finish a fully rendered piece from art challenge. Or what I need to do is like when we did the studies, draw hands every single day. they were mostly sketch hands. Some were rendered, but mostly were sketch hands. I need to maybe do my art challenge. Like, hey, it's a portrait this month, but I'm just going to do a sketch portrait. I'm not planning on taking it to a full render, but just a really cool, full sketched and shaded or whatever. Because hatching's fun too. I need to do more stuff like that because it's funner. And I'm not stuck in, like I said, like, you see all my unfinished pieces, I get to the, like, base colors and maybe some shading, but I never finish. And then I don't post it, and I don't take it anywhere, and it sucks.
Man, I was sketching the other day, and I tried to do hatching. Like, I haven't dusted off. Oh, I hate it. I hate it. It's my ADHD brain cannot do inch hatch.
My reasoning
it's
is...
literally like...
Well, because my reasoning is I hate pencils. I hate how they smudge. I hate how they do that. So
I love smudging.
So I went to pens in drawing, and I can't smudge really with pens.
No, true.
You have to pretty much hatch the shading. So that's what I'm used to, is scratchy, hatchy stuff. And then also, when I used to do art, I thought smudging was like cheating. Because like, okay, someone's sitting there, it's just dumb things in your head. Like when you listen to a song, and you're like, if you read the album where you're cheating with the lyrics instead of learning if I'm listening, you know? Right. I had those dumb rules that you make for yourself, and smudging to me was like, you're cheating because you're not doing art, you're just wiping your away.
Like, who are you gonna call? Damn bastard.
Yeah.
Like wrong song.
Yeah, you just have, and that was honestly in high school. When someone read the lyric book to find the lyrics, I'm like, you're cheating. Like, you need to actually listen to the song enough to act. It's like dumb rules you make for yourself, you know? And
meanwhile, that was one of my you still have to build up the shade in order to
and that's,
make the color deep,
especially now with digital art. Obviously, I love the paint look where you go back and forth, but I use the smudge tool on soft edges sometimes. Yeah. And it's like, it's not cheating, it's a tool, you know? Obviously, it's easier and quicker, but it's like, it's a great tool because it looks real. But in my own dumb head, that was a no-no, you know? And,
and like, for me, hatching, it was... I couldn't figure out how to build a hatch. I couldn't get the lines close enough that they weren't
too dark or too dark. Yeah, because you gotta lighten it up as you go.
And you literally have to be physically not hard enough or hard.
Either lightly pressing or spacing it more.
Exactly. And if I spaced it more, is it too far? Is that where I wanted it? So you really had to plot out where you're gonna hatch. But if I shade, I just have to. If I
one dark line and lighten it up.
Exactly. Like I can inch it and then really pull it up. And even if I wanted to have if I accidentally brought darkness into a light area, I could just make the light area darker.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Let me see. Okay, my sister does that. You just take notes during church. I can't take notes. I think I'd be too focused on the notes to where I'm trying to remember what he's saying and then missing what he's now saying.
Right.
Whereas when I doodle, I can fully listen because I like to doodle and I like to do my homework when I'm listening to music and stuff. So I can take it in as I'm like drawing, but I can't probably take it in as much as I'm writing. I'll miss his new stuff while I'm writing his old stuff.
And that's it. But they have there's in education, right? There's different types of learners. There's the physical learners, the tactile learners. There's the auditory learner. I am one of those people that is a physical learner. I have to actually be doing something, and so I tend to draw, and I don't tend to write word notes. I tend to draw the message. So
exactly. Well, you're still focusing because you're
exactly,
and you're like imagining it, so you're going deeper level too.
Exactly.
And that's just like how I like crocheting, because I can be watching TV or stuff like that too on crocheting, because I'm a fidgety person too. I usually like tap my legs, rub my legs, or doodle, and this gives my hands something to do while I'm watching TV or we're hanging out and stuff too. But when we're actually focused and talking on this. That's what's good about doing snakes. I can just keep going and not have to worry about this one. I actually have to count 1, 2, 3, 4 increase, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 increase, and I have to like focus. So I can't really talk and do it on my own. At least not at this point in my life.
This was like a line in the sand for my husband. He was like, "You're not bringing crochet to church."
Oh yeah, it is weird. People do it, but that one, like when you're doodling, at least you're on a paper.
Yeah.
But when you're crocheting, I want to be able to pay attention if I'm doing like something like this. But it does honestly feel like I see the ladies do it, and it's like it seems so disrespectful. It's just weird because it feels like you're actually not focused at all. But I mean, people can do it. Like her, she's been talking and chatting this whole time and making it. I'm like not doing anything because I can't focus.
We were talking about Isaac at church, and I drew this while we were talking. It's the Sons of Thunder.
Oh, nice! Yeah.
So I drew like wait, I'll download it again. But yeah,
Jesus' disciples.
Yeah, and so I drew it in I was working in the AV group, and then the lady that is the lead. Well, I did a little bit because I had to draw the craft part. But in any case, I drew it and I left it there, and I didn't realize I left it there. And she texted me and she's like, "Oh, it was such great
cool
walking in there." I drew this Gods of Sons of Thunder. It's a biblical verse or whatever, and it was just about these two brothers that were like doing.
They were disciples, but they were like the muscle of it. Like they were ready to fight for their religion.
Right. So I drew it, and I was working. I volunteer at my church doing AV, and so I was doing the stuff upstairs, and I was doodling while I was listening to the service and doing all the things. And I left it there, and the lady that is in charge of the upstairs, she like found it when she walked in, and I was like, oh, and I didn't. I mean, I'm
gonna get in trouble.
Exactly.
But they actually liked it.
Yeah, and she actually taped it on the wall. When I went up there, she taped it on the wall, and I'm like, it's sitting there now. And somebody goes, you need to make our portraits. I'm like, no, I don't.
The heck I do.
No, I don't.
Crazy, that's cute. Nerdy said it hopes the crochet vibes have been real. Somewhat. She's been crocheting. I've been chatting with a crocheted piece, but not able to work. And then Ash actually said, back to the question about Betty, there's no stuffing in the legs, the arms either. They're just a little floppy. But because they don't get any wider than 12 single crochets around, they're just really stiff. So it's just like a cord, like I said. It's not a cord, but it's stiff like that, so it holds up. At least it's not, because not like noodly,
Right, but it's because it's tight. I see what you're saying.
And you're using a small crochet hook too.
Yeah.
I haven't used such a small crochet hook in a while.
And
it hurts my fingers when it's small like that.
I like it because then when I'm using a cotton filling, and it doesn't tend to pop out.
The big old hole. Oh, you can't see. I have big old holes in mine because it's a big old thing. Yours doesn't.
So when I'm working on my that's how it's said. Ask your dentist. In any case, when I'm working with it, I tend to go, whenever they make a pattern, they put like the weight of the yarn, and then a size down or 1/2 size down is the weight of or the gauge of the needle. I usually go like 2 sizes down for my so that you can't see any cotton or they don't pop out. Ask your dentist. That's how it's said.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab my eyeballs.
Yeah, but like crazy, you said, like I wrote about speaking out loud, or speaking a lot of words, but our actions have to line up with the words. Even Paul says in the Bible too, like I'd rather, or the ones like, oh, speaking without actions is meaningless, and like loving, or praying without love is meaningless, that kind of stuff too. But yeah, actions speak louder than words, like you said. You gotta not just say, oh yeah, you know what, I really hope that this stuff turns around. Okay, well, help it turn around. If you want a miracle, then you got to be the miracle. You can't just
be the change in the world that you want to see.
Yeah. Although if you're not staggering the increases, you should be able to see previous increases, and then you just put 2 in the second stitch of the one below.
Yeah, sometimes especially in the round, when you stack your doubling, then it starts to look like octagonal.
Well, then it also it curves. Yeah. But luckily, like look at mine too, how they have the pattern. I mean, obviously it's gonna fix later, I'm sure, but it's really like, I don't know if you can see it. It's really like a flower. It's like building up and down, but that's how the pattern's showing to build up. So hopefully,
when it starts to curve,
it starts stuffing, and it folds it out. Because usually every time I worked in the round, it's like goes round. This one's actually being like bubbly, which is kind of weird.
Ash, do you make clothes as well? Do you crochet clothes?
She's helping with beanies
and
stuff too, and she made the helmets. But I don't know. And I think, didn't you do a cardigan, or you?
Did you make the hexagon cardigan, or have you make the hexagon cardigan?
I think you made a cardigan, right, Ash?
Because that's how it looks like when it's like a weird hexagon and you stack.
Here, Ash broke it down for us. Mig, room, me.
Totally.
But you know what? I like our way of saying it better.
We have a person at our school. Oh. Her name is not this, but we call her McGonagall because
Miss McGonagall.
McGonagall. It's from Harry Potter.
Yeah,
that's where we go to school.
And like if you know me well enough, I like giving nicknames, and like sometimes it's just adding like a Y at the end of your name. But also, like we call, Frosted Tips is someone's nickname there. Right. Another one's Russell, just because it reminds us of something else. I always do that.
So funny story, right? I'm just getting to know Saya here, and we're talking and we're chatting around, and we see this guy that kind of shows up a lot, and he was like, "Oh, Russell," and I didn't know that was a nickname.
It just looks like Russell Brand.
Right. So I go up to him and I say, "Hey, Russell," and he goes. And then I asked his wife. I was like, "Hey, what was your name of your husband? What's your husband's name?" not Russell. That was for sure. That was right away the information that I got. It was not Russell. And it's only because I didn't know Josiah well enough, or Josiah, well enough to know that was a nickname and not his real name.
But I mean,
Oopsie.
I'm wondering too, because it's literally, he looks so much, I think his personality is like Russell Brand.
Yes.
So I'm wondering if he actually gets that a lot. So he's kind of like, probably like, who are you? You think you're so close to me, you can call me this, like, who knows?
But I was like, literally, like,
like,
practically asking him his like social security number. It was in a for real context, and
so he was like upset about it. It seemed like
it was just like
thrown off.
Yeah, just like what are you calling me now?
Maybe, like I said, maybe she thought, he thought you were just trying to be like friendly and close and giving a nickname because he knows he's got to know.
He's got to know.
He's like a Russell Brand clone.
Yeah, I mean, the old boy wears a high bun, dude, like a for real
and
man
he's
bun,
very,
and it's like up here.
Very like meditative and earth, like that kind of stuff. So
like old boy's got a tea brand. He's making chai in his backyard. He's doing something.
Yeah, not that it's a bad thing. It's just I think he's probably thrown off. Like, are you being mean to me right now, or are you just like?
But I didn't know that. I genuinely
thought that was his name.
Yeah, we were volunteering together, and I thought, oh no, I didn't need to.
But
be mean.
in my defense, I honestly, I did do that. But at the same time, I honestly thought I had heard him say his name was Russell. I probably was just thinking in my head.
But his name in real life is actually
way different.
It's way different, but it's one of those names that even if you were to write it on your hand, it definitely fits his personality. But if you would never guess it. You can literally.
Oh no, probably never heard that name before.
You can literally look up under any name in any country, and you would never guess that this dude in nowhere Washington State would be named this guy. I mean, honestly. But in any case, it was just so funny because you don't know that yet.
Go share. I never finished my cardigan. Okay, you were working on a cardigan. I need to make some too, so. But you did have that moment where you're taking a break from crocheting too. I think that was right around when you did the cardigan, right? I haven't made one of those hexagon cardigans. What clothes have you made? I know you've made, obviously, helmets and beanies with me. My pastor also said that the devil doesn't care when Christians talk about Jesus in the moment. We talk to people who don't have Christ about Christ. He gets it. Well, yeah, exactly. If we're talking amongst each other, it's just benefiting ourselves, and we already have Jesus, so it's like we're not spreading it. But when you start spreading it to someone that doesn't know, then it's like, okay, now you're making more people do the opposite of what I want for sure. Mm-hmm. Mouse in my screen name is actually a or a callback to my family's nickname for me. Oh, cool, Mouse. Well, actually, Saya for me, that's what like my little sister, my nephews, everyone that's young calls me because they can't pronounce Josiah. It's just Saya. Mm-hmm. So like right now, my two nephews, they call me Saya. Even
it's the cutest.
Yeah, they just love it. They scream Saya. Even my littlest one is barely talking. Beanies, scarves, and gloves. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. It's what Ash has made. But that's awesome, Nerdy. That's part that stuck with you like that, too. Saya, there you go.
Nami has arrived.
What's up, Nami? Hey, you came for a crochet stream. Nami's also close to Jordan. She's in Germany.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and she does a lot. She did some crocheting. She's made, like, helmets and stuff, too. Really cool for art challenges. But she's doing, what's it called? Hey, thank you for the sub. I don't have a drink. I can't scold for you. But thank you. Golly with good oars, sail to distant shores. Yeah, cross stitch. That's what I was gonna say, but it didn't sound right to me. She's been doing a lot of cross stitching, which is really cool. And I want to get the girls into stuff like that because they want to crochet with me, but I feel like it's too hard, at least for me, to explain to them. But cross stitching is something that they could definitely do.
Cross stitch is fun. That's what one of the things that I started with, yeah.
And it's like awesome to like hang around the house too, like that kind of stuff. And you can cross stitch onto like clothes, right?
You can cross stitch.
So you can make like embroider. Well, I mean, you can embroider. Yeah, you can embroider your own like clothes and stuff, which is really cool about it.
I've cross stitched into a paper towel. Like I don't know if you guys remember this, but Bounty used to have really pretty patterns on it, and I cross stitched one of them. And my cousin
you followed those patterns. Yeah. That's funny. Just for you're bored or something.
Yeah, exactly. My cousin wanted to.
You told me about it. Yeah. Well, what's up, Nami? Yeah, this is where I'm gonna try to start implementing it. I have a crochet craft club with a couple of friends of my mom, and today it was just me and Ray. Everyone else had to go do something else, but maybe on Thursdays around this time. We started an hour or so ago, but we could usually start a couple hours before this if they're all down for it, and we can hang out. We'll be talking about whatever and just crocheting and crafting. So it's a perfect stream for you because Nami, you're like a craft queen now when it comes to streaming. Bro, I just tell everyone my name is Taz. Because I grew up in school and everyone's calling me that because no one can say my name. It's Arabic name, Tasneem. Right? Tasneem. Actually, one of Aria's good friends actually has a Arabic name. Has Asmin. Asmin. No, I think it's Asma. Ashma? No,
Yeah.
It's more like a Z. I think her friend who also wears a hijab was calling her Asma or Asma.
Something.
I don't know. They know it.
Anyway.
Aria always corrects me, but so I understand that it's hard because it's not that it's a weird name. It's the fact that you guys speak differently. Like, well, I mean, like just like Spanish, you have to roll your R's. Like they pronounce things differently because they're taught. Like even just the linguistics of like how your tongue moves and stuff too. So even if you try your best to say it, it's hard unless you learn how to move your tongue and mouth the right way to say it. Mm-hmm. But no, that's easy. Yeah, see, all of us have nicknames because our names. My name was actually hard for a lot of people growing up. Now there's a lot of little Josiahs running around, but there was like no Josiahs back then.
My full name is Raylyn. Like, yeah.
She goes by Ray, which is perfect because my dog's name's Ray.
Yeah, so
when she's at our house, we always talk crap on her. Like, Ray, get out of the house or get down, Ray. Ray just pooped in my garage.
Yeah. Sit, Ray, sit.
Yeah,
I'm
Ray,
like,
get down.
I'm sitting. Settle down.
Heck yeah. And then I think it was the one time we were driving one of the crochet clubs, me, my mom, her, and our other friend that's going to be in here too. But she's at work right now. She didn't know really about us talking about Ray, but she's used to it. So we're sitting there talking about, yeah, Ray pooped in my garage again, and she's just like, what? Like, what the heck is going on? But we're like, oh no, the dog Ray, not Ray.
Literally, that like her brakes went, what?
Yeah.
It was too funny.
It's so bright and shiny where you are. Also, we have the lights on, but because we have overcast outside, so it is brighter because it's daytime. It's only 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But there's a lot of gray overcast, so it's kind of dim bright. If you see
the outside there, it is actually that color in my house. If we were to turn off the overhead, the whole color would be blue.
Yeah, it's also because it's dark over there. There's no lights on, so the outside window looks a lot brighter than the dark room. But I mean, it is compared to where you're at. It's nighttime, right? It's like 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night, so it's dark for you. But for the beginning, use a low count aid fabric for your girls. Okay, thank you.
This is where I am at now. I haven't connected it, but.
And I'm like 8 rows into my round. That's all I'm in.
Oh, there you go.
Oh no, you decapitated the turtle.
It's gonna be stacked.
Also, of course, I'm gonna tie this back to Oppenheimer. Who'd have thunk that the Destroyer of Worlds would have a nickname used by his students as other friends, Oppie. Oh, that is actually his nickname is Oppie? That makes sense. That's what I would make it. That's just like we call Oppenheimer Hoppy. That's awesome. I didn't know that. She knows like everything about Oppenheimer. Like she's like reading the books and watching all the old movies and stuff too. She's like deep dive since the movie. Though I came into it no audio and then Chipmunk Saya. I forgot to use my intro. Aw, it's okay, Ash. We're just happy you came in. You were so nice to me. It's the truth though. It's like S sounds. Neem. So sneem? Wait. Is it just sneem? Is that what you're saying? Can you sound it out like in words?
Like phonetically?
Like phonetically, so you can write it, because I'm an idiot. You know, I can't even pronounce anyone's name that comes in here. It's always wrong, period. So.
I can't pronounce
Sneem. So is it just sneem then, or tisneem? But mine's spelled with an A. Tisneem? That dang rolled R is what normal in German as well. Well, I'm pretty good at rolling my R's, thankfully, so... If it's an R rolling accent, I can kind of get it, but when it's like something else, I'm not that great. In Bavaria, they still do it, but it's mostly gone.
In Bavaria, for
the rolling the R's.
R, yeah, or umlauts.
Nine. I always think people are calling me when they say actually Ashery. Yeah, luckily for me, it's so rare if I say Ashery. It's like, what's wrong? Why are you calling me by my full name? It's always Ash. It's 10:30 at night, yeah, so it's definitely dark over there. I'm a weird old nerd. We all are nerdy. You're not the only one, exactly. Yeah. You're in the right chat. I mean,
you're in the right space. We do not shame here.
Heck yeah, we're crocheting, and I love anime, and I actually like math somewhat, so I'm definitely bad nerdy. T. So normally T sounds say S and then neem. So it's sineem. Or Sesneem? Can you like phonetically like act like I'm a 2-year-old and write it out so I can read it? Because I'm just still gonna mess it up. Gotta love umlaut.
Umlauts.
Umlaut. Umlauts? Is that how you say it?
Umlauts.
Umlauts. It's funny too because obviously my sister-in-law is German, and I hear her mostly talk in English. But when she gets into German, like when she speaks German, her voice gets deeper and more like, I don't want to say guttural as a bad way, but it just seems more like,
it's guttural.
Yeah, it's like she's like, oh hi, how are you? I miss you. Then oh good, I'm like, what the heck? Like she's like, oh no, I just told him to pick up his toy. Like, but okay, it sounded like you were telling him like you're going to jail. Like Tesneem. Okay, yeah, so Tesneem.
It's funny that you see those Instagrams, right, where they say butterfly and it's like Mariposa, or ambulance, and you're like, holy mackerel.
Just like French, they say it sounds all sweet, but they're like saying, I'm gonna go take a dump, but they're like, oh, right? And they're like, oh, it sounds, what'd you say? It sounds so lovely. I said I'm gonna go poop in the street. Like, what the heck?
What? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I'll say like, what do you call seafood plate? Seafood plate.
Uh-huh.
And my mom will laugh because my mom took French too in high school, and she's like, ha, 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 ha. And then I said it to a friend who actually is French, and she's like, you know you're saying that wrong. Like, I know I'm saying it wrong.
Yeah, I'm
absolutely no, but I'm an American.
Guam.
What do you want?
Yeah.
I'm an American that took French from a Japanese person.
German is not that. No, it's not bad. No, I'm just saying her, like the way she starts using her voice and pronouncing her words, like it's two different people. Like, I mean, I might sound like that when I'm trying to pronounce stuff in Spanish or something, but like it seems like there's two different people talking when she's speaking English or speaking German. It's not just like, okay, her accent's different. It's like it's a whole different voice, which is like weird. Not bad weird. Just for me, like the first time I heard her speaking German, I'm like, who's there? And like, oh, that's just
like the accent.
My wife.
Yeah, the accent is out. It's
not just the accent that sounds. It's just like she uses like a deeper voice. Like you speak from like a lower part of your throat or whatever. You use more of your esophagus. I have no idea, but it just like comes differently when she speaks it.
It's beautiful though. Like when I studied Spanish, Japanese, and French, and the only thing that stuck was ASL, American Sign Language.
I actually Ashley, I think because people often say Asherly.
Oh
yeah, Asherly.
I go by Ray because people, for whatever reason, my name is not hard. My name is Raylene. It's not a hard name, but people have called me Raylene.
Raylene, yeah, I see that.
And then Ray, and I've been Ray for my dad's name is Ray, and I cannot stand it. It sounds like some dude that's eating cake every day.
And thanks to my dog, I'll call her Ravid.
Right. I'm
like you,
no.
Ravid.
Every time.
you, Ravid.
Every time I go to their house, I get in trouble.
Yep. That's why, because you keep pooping in the garage.
Exactly, and I have to sit all the time.
Yeah, and then Nerdy, that never been such a history buff except for because of Oppenheimer and World War II. Yeah, World War II is fascinating, but it's also scary. Like, I've seen a documentary from the Japanese side of like Hiroshima, and it's like the worst thing. You hear some of the testimonials, and it's so horrible. Like, it makes me so sad. It's fascinating, but it gets so like sad that I don't even want to hear it, because it's like I have kids too, and these people that they witness this happen to their kids, like, oh man.
I am just one generation away. You know that? Genuinely, like I grew up in Guam and Hawaii. We were in the what is it called when, not the arcade, what is it called when you're in the field? We were in the range. Guam became part of the place where they docked their boats to go and bomb Japan. You know,
you were involved, like
so, and my uncles went, and my grandfather and my mom. There's a thing called the occupation of Guam when Japan was occupying Guam.
Oh,
so I'm literally just a generation
just missed
away
it.
From
Yeah,
that,
that's so scary. My name in Muslims, more so than Arabic, according to my Islam name, it means fountain in heaven. Yeah, my name, I think, because it's from the Bible. My name Josiah. I think it's supposed to be fire of God. That's what mine stands for. I started my interest in history way back in World War One. World War I was crazy with all like the trench warfare and chemical warfare. Yeah. That's just nasty stuff back there, man.
Nowadays, I mean, I don't want to start, roll down this hill, but like the reality is, like, nowadays the wars feel so disconnected from humanity, because you can literally be here and we could be talking about countries far I've never seen in my life, never put my foot on the ground there, and have destroyed populaces so remote from me. But before, it was like feet on the ground. People are literally bleeding on soil
like
that is
drones and all this stuff doing a lot of the work.
It's just a crazy reality.
It sucks, period. All of it sucks. It's awful fascinating in Germany. You start to learn about World War II in the 8th grade. I don't know whether my voice is higher or lower in German. Next time you're in stream, I have to listen. But I feel like, at least, like I said, it's just, I'm biased because it's only one person that I know this, but her personally, when she does it, her voice is a lot deeper and lower when she speaks in German than when she does in English. And like I said, it sounds like two different people talking. It doesn't sound like she's just got an accent now. It's like a whole nother person.
But it's part of the, can you pull the thing back? I'm getting like a whole curtain over here. It's part of the way the language works, like the Romantic language and the Germanic languages. They have more guttural sounds.
What I'm saying is from where you use your voice box, or you get it more from your stomach, because you're trained that way. But it's just funny that you think, me personally, I think like she'd still talk that way, but with an accent in English. Like, okay, this is your voice, but now in English you have that accented voice, but you sound the same. But no, it's like, it could just be her. I don't know if it's everyone, or how she learned English or something, but it was just, like I said, it's not like me. I feel like when I have an accent in Spanish, it's because I can't say the words properly, but I sound the same. Hers, it's like, it's a whole new voice. It's just, like I said, it could just be you guys speak from a different part, and that's how you learn. And then when you learn English, you're learning it from a different...
It's the same with like French speakers. The Romantic language has much more of a sing-songy high note.
High pitches, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like music theory, right? Like a bass.
Yeah. Baritone,
an alto sax and a sax. They have a different note base, and just like any language, it has a different tonal voice or tonal sound. So French, when they talk, it's kind of like at a higher pitch.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I understand that for sure, but I thought that they would keep that same voice range, just with a different accent, or they'd speak our language at that voice range, not they used a whole new voice. But if that's the case, they're learning properly. I mean, and I'm the least bilingual person in the world, so that's why I have no clue about it all either. You guys are all like speaking two languages and stuff.
If her model is Jordan's model.
She spoke before, and that's what I'm saying. Maybe she learned. Some people learn from TV, so they sound like a sports newscaster. You know what I mean? But I don't. Like I said, I have no idea. It was just funny personally from her hearing her. I was like, holy crap! Like, who's there? Like, I didn't know who was talking in the back of the phone, but it's just her.
Here's a question for you bilingual folks out there. I'm bilingual. My first language is Chamorro. I'm from Guam again, and I was born and raised in Guam, and I grew up in Hawaii, and Hawaii has a different language as well, right? But we're a U.S. state, and then I moved out here early 2000s. But do you guys think in a different language and then translate in your head? Or do you think of the word in the language that you're speaking and then say the word and then have to translate it back to your language? Because that's what I'll do, because I'll get stuck. And it's funny because my husband, who is a 100% a native English speaker from the Midwest, he's from Chicago, and he was trying to tell me that, he's my husband, so he's allowed, right? He was trying to tell me that I'm hot. And there's two words for hot. Oh. There is spicy hot, and then there's like temperature hot, right? Yeah. And in Chamorro, there's pica and maipi. Maipi is temperature, and pica is spiciness. Okay. And he goes, "Oh, you're pica hot." And my son, who is not, he's a native English speaker, he says, "That's the wrong one."
Oh, he even knew. That's funny.
Yeah. And I'm like, "Oh, that's in my brain." I instantly, I didn't want to correct my husband because he was trying to be cute, but I knew I was teaching my son the correct way, but in my head I was hearing Chamorro in my brain, and then I had to translate it into English to teach him back in Chamorro what it was.
What's weird with me, because I mean I'm not like super bilingual, but I had a couple years of Spanish class in high school and stuff, and when I was doing that, I obviously lost Spanish now, but it wasn't like a sound. I didn't hear the sound in English first. I saw the picture. Yeah. Like I pictured it in my head, like I see El Baño, like the bathroom. I wasn't thinking the bathroom and then saying El Baño. I would visually see a bathroom and say it. Like that's how I do it.
That's how I do it in ASL. So I'm much more fluent in any other language, including my native language. I'm much more fluent in ASL. And so it's English.
Which is sign language for you guys that don't know. It's sign language in America.
So I studied sign language for a very long time in college, in high school, etc. But I'm not an interpreter. I don't practice it very often. But in any case, that's how I use sign language. Is I picture the thing first.
That's you.
Yeah,
okay.
that's me.
Yeah, that's
I picture the thing first, and then it translates in my head. But because I think in two languages sometimes, most of the time I think in English. But it gets much more complicated when I'm done talking with my parents. When I talk with my parents, my dad in his old age almost exclusively speaks Chamorro, And my mom gets annoyed because she wants to have like this national, Guam native, but she works in Hawaii, so she speaks in English, and she gets frustrated with my dad because he speaks Chamorro. Anyway, it's just old couples and what they do is pretty funny. But in any case, I go back and forth in my language all the time, and I don't realize that I'm doing it, and it frustrates my husband because he can't. And not that he doesn't try, he can't. And I don't know what I'm doing, or if it's completely. So I'm curious if that's a thing for other people. Like, is it just me that thinks in two languages, or do I translate in my head?
Yeah, Nami, you definitely have an accent in English, so you could tell you're not from America. But that makes sense. Like I'm saying, like it makes sense to have an accent, especially when that's not your first language.
I have an accent?
No. Nami says she's been told she has an English accent.
Yeah.
An accent in English. Yeah, like just like me, when I speak another language, you could tell like, hey, you're not your first language. But like hers, like I understand that hers was just like it was a different voice. Like I'm saying, it wasn't when I heard her, because I've heard her a bunch. I heard her speaking in German for the first time. Like, who's there? Like, there's someone else there. It wasn't like, oh, that's her. Like, oh wow, I can hear her voice. No, it's a different person.
Patty said that about me and Rick too.
A strong desire to scare you guys. Oh, I wonder if you would be loud enough for you to scare us though, Ash. She wants to like scare us with like a knocking sound or like a bang, a little like that. That would probably scare us because the bang is loud enough. Ash likes to scare us.
No, she did that to you on a stream.
On stream, yeah, it scares everyone.
Me.
It scares everybody on stream. Ash always does that. I'm just trying to catch up on chat real quick, guys, because I need to be leaving soon. I know Ray does too.
Yeah, I need to go to get some pharmacy.
Well, I need to go take care of my neighbor's dogs.
I need to do the chemist. How's that, international people?
Yeah, but Nami says she's learning her 5th language. That's crazy as heck.
Nami, what is your languages?
She's from. What languages do you speak, Nami? That's what she wants to know. I'm talking like she can't hear you. I'm used to my microphone at home, where if you're not right up on it, it won't really pick you up. But this one seems really good, 4 feet away, and picking us up pretty darn good. Because I've learned some in school, used English words before. I tried at one point. I asked my sister-in-law not long ago. Language is Dutch. Thinks Dutch, but speaks. She thinks in Dutch, but speaks in English. That makes sense too. Yeah. But she forgot her Arabic since it was been since 1st grade, so she doesn't know. The German, I still don't know how to use it. Even Germans don't do that right all the time. Okay.
It's funny too because there's countries like Germany, like.
Is die coffee right? Sorry, yeah, der coffee.
Der coffee.
Der coffee. Der Kaffee. Or Der Kaffee.
Yeah,
I don't know how to say it, but yeah, Der.
But there's most countries except for America has secondary languages that are primary secondary languages.
Like Japan. Yeah, you have different versions. And then America's like a lot easier and more dumbed down because, like you said, there's 2 meanings for most words. Or you say it a certain way, like it means either spicier. We would say, oh, that's spicy or that's hot. Theirs is the same.
And sometimes it's just easier to accentuate a word, might be and pika, right? So if I say it's really hot, it'd be like my pipi.
Oh yeah.
And then you would the enthusiasm of the word or the extenuating or the how you exaggerate the word would be whatever, or mas might be would just be kind of like the textbook way you would say it.
And then some, like I know Spanish, like you say things and the same word means 3 different things, which is even harder. But if you know it well enough, the context in the sentence you use it makes a difference.
Yeah.
Where for us, it's like, no, it means that all the time. You have to have a whole new word for the other meaning.
Yeah.
And then I know like Spanish, I don't know how other languages are, but like you'd say like the same word, but it would end with an A or an O sound to make it male or female. In Japan, you say it differently depending on if they're your senior, if they're your parent, if they're your close friend, if they're a distant friend. Use a different word for the same meaning, but it's respectful, like in different ways.
And I took Japanese in high school as well. And
okay, you know more than me.
In Japan, like just the language that you have to study, the like written, casual, and so there's like hiragana, katakana, and something else, and like in regular like TV, like if you're watching sumo wrestling, they will have.
It's always slang.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's why you can tell someone learned an anime like me compared to someone that actually traditionally knows it. But just like I know amazing. If you're a girl, you say suge, I think it or sugoi. and if you're a boy, you say suge.
Suge.
I might be wrong. Yeah, suge. So if you say it wrong, but like you're speaking like a girl, and like why does it matter if a girl says it or a boy says it? Like that's what's weird to me
Right.
it's
Because
different
it's
if you're
respectful.
Well, I know. I'm saying if I'm talking like Spanish, it's hermano or hermana, which means boy or girl. But
Right.
whether you're a girl or boy, you say it the same way. It just means something different. Whereas this one's like, no, the girls say different words than the boys say. And it's like, why? Like it's because it's so much different, like
Right.
traditional
and. So for instance, like in Japan, the child is raised by the woman, and the woman teaches that language to the child. Doesn't matter what the sex of the child is. But then if that child is a boy at a certain age, that boy has to now change that word to meet his sex. Whereas in Spanish, the word changes for the person.
Exactly,
they're
that's what I'm
referring
saying.
to.
That's what I understand that more. It just seems more like they I don't know why they did, but they
Because
segregated.
it's
It's traditional and it's old school, so it's been brought up where the girls, like you said, even like we said in the church, girls aren't supposed to actually speak and stuff back in the day, and now they can. Like back then, but it's just weird that it's so different. Like you have to learn so many, and that means you have to learn so much more for one language. You have to
There's
learn the
still
traditional
current
way.
African languages that do the same thing.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. It's all old school, like crazy. Let me see.
Did we freeze?
What's up? What's up? What did I miss? I'm sorry, guys. There's so much chatting going on, and what I miss. He called me out, so I pay attention. What I miss. In German, umfahren can mean drive around something or something over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what
yeah, that's what I'm saying. English is so much. It's more dumbed down and easier. Not that it's bad, but it's like there's not so much like rules because of like your status in like your profession or in like I know like Japanese, if you're there, you don't say their first name unless you're a super close friend or family. You have to say their last name until they're it's all formal and stuff too. Whereas America, it's so pretty much I'd say America's just straight slang. Like we don't have all of that. You're speaking slang all the time, no matter who you're talking to.
Even currently, like my culture, I will still say to my son, like, hey, you need to go say tell Mr. Josiah, blah, 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 blah.
We do in English, we do have like a common courtesy, but it's not a requirement. Like if someone says, hey, what's up, dude? Like it'd be fine.
Right.
But we also try to have manners and be like, say Mr. this or Mrs. that. We do that too, but it's not as normal and it's not as required. You don't,
But our where I grew up culturally, we have that Asian mindset. And so we do those kinds of things. Like culturally, we say, Mr. and Mrs. all the time, yes, ma'am, ma'am and sir all the time. And we have the, we speak when we're spoken to type of situations. Yeah. Just culturally, we do that. We're very Asian centric when we.
Yeah. And also for us.
Oh, hang on. I got my dog out. Hold on.
And for us, since we're like Helena's a teacher, I worked as a para, all this stuff. So just being in that structure of like, all the teachers you call like Mr. whatever, Mr. their last name.
Pay attention to us.
And I'm trying to say that you try to have that formal, so it's easier for our kids. But hey, Mr. and Mrs. that because we're used to that because the whole school environment. But guys, I know I'm sorry I'm messing up on chat. There's a lot of chat going on. And German, English, French, German. Oh, she knows sign language and German too. And now Arabic are my languages. Yeah, I know you've been working on Arabic. But now, heck yeah, German and English I think is pretty common. But you also know French. Yeah, she knows German, English, French, German Sign Language, and Arabic. And those are definitely, Arabic is probably a harder one to learn too.
Arabic is crazy.
Yeah.
Even like written Arabic is crazy because you read from the different angle. You read from the different.
Oh, so Japanese, you read it sideways or different angles too. You read from right to left and up and down.
So
Japanese,
Arabic or English, we read from right to left.
Left
Arabic,
to right.
you read from left to right, and Asian languages
you
read
down
up and down.
And you go left. You go from right to left
Yeah.
though. And so and then Asian, I know you read sounds, which is maybe Arabic too, but we read sounds rather than like each letter. We read each letter. They read sounds. Yeah.
We read phonetically.
The reading is pretty easily actually. Well, once you know it for sure. For us, like my dumb little mind is not easy. That's for sure. But yeah, guys, I'm sorry I so backed up on chat. You guys are in there and you're doing great, and I feel bad. But like I said, I'm not actually.
This was actually a test.
Yeah, this was. I didn't think it'd be that long, to be honest, either. But you guys are amazing and great, and I want to stick around for forever. but I'm glad we got to hang out. And you guys, like, thanks for like joining us and not getting upset that we were like talking so much. But I feel like a lot of these streams, well, I'm gonna keep on the chat as much as I can. I'm gonna try to read and even type when we can't, because we're all gonna be talking. There's gonna be a lot of us. But thanks for hanging out, and sorry I got backed up on chat, guys. But we need to go raiding like us good Vikings do, because I have to go take care of my neighbor's dogs, and she's got stuff to do too. And then I got to pick up the kids in about 30-40 minutes. So help me out with joining the raid, guys. I appreciate you. Talk to me in Discord, because I feel bad that I was backed up on chat. But you guys are the best, and have a great rest of your day and evening. And I will see you guys maybe tonight. I might happen tonight, guys. There might be a stream, but don't look for it, because I mean, obviously look for it, but don't. I'm sorry. I feel that there might not be a stream, is what I'm trying to say. Might be, might not, so don't expect it, but I might pop up, and I'll let you know in Discord. But I appreciate you guys. Let's go have fun raiding, and I'll talk to you soon. Keep up to date in Discord with me. And if you had anything today that I missed in chat, write me in Discord, because I feel bad I missed it and I want to talk. So, all right, guys, I'll see you next time. Later.
Bye.